I know I need to size up with you, and when I defang the Viper, trust me, ain't gonna come from nowhere. Jeff, I already put you out. I don't even know why you're out here right now. Keep on talking. Hey, do me a favor. Why don't you act like this is an AA meeting, and you shut your mouth while I'm sharing with the group. And Mustafa, you out here, a boy among men. And I'm gonna tell you what, you got lucky at the Rumble, so I know you're gonna come out here and run your mouth about how bad you are. But let me give you a little bit of a reality check. You see, Mustafa, you said that my eyes don't lie. Well, your eyes don't lie either, because last week, they were closed real tight when I put your simple ass to sleep. And AJ, hey man, be honest with me. How's our old girl Wendy doing?
Welcome back to the Clark Street Wrestling Podcast. It's me, Hafeez, and with me as always is Devin, and we are here for our 3-year live stream celebration anniversary. Good times, good vibes, We're bringing it to y'all.
3 years, baby. 3 years in the podcast game. We are here. We made it.
We made it. Yes. Yo, it's fun to be doing this. It's great to be here. I see some comments here.
Got comments already. Look at that.
Kofi, thank you. We live. Yes, we are.
Shout out to the Dirty Hills podcast. Check them out.
Yes. So we definitely thank you all for tuning in, checking us out, man, sharing the love, on social media here right now. Thank you all. We much appreciated. It's been a fun journey doing this for the last 3 years. We got much more to come. We're 3 years and counting. So it's going to be a lot of fun keeping this going, keeping this rolling, sharing our love of wrestling with all of y'all and just chatting it up. Two good friends, just having a good time, talking wrestling, vibing with y'all. So definitely, man, it's been a pleasure and an honor. And Devin, just a few words before we kick into the show.
Man, I'm just excited about the journey we've been through. First season, second season, third season. Now we head into our fourth season. Shout out to the Circle of Debate. I see y'all in the chat right now. Y'all just caught my attention. Y'all broke my concentration. I gotta salute y'all. What's up? Shout out to Ivan. Shout out to Matt. Shout out to Chris and Becky, especially Money Mike. Shout out to Mike.
Yes.
We appreciate it. But I'm excited, man, about this journey we've been through together, man. You've been one of the best tag team partners, a part of my life, and I appreciate that, bro.
Likewise, man. None but love. All right, let's get into it. So definitely any questions you got, comments you got, throw them in the chat. Definitely we'll be reading some of these out live here. And of course, I'm your Moxley of podcasting, laughing my ass off. Yes, thank you for that. So yeah, we're gonna be getting into some questions later on with the Streets is Talking segment. Some of you sent in some questions early. We'll be reading those on air. So thank you for that. But right now, let's go with a hot topic right now, right off the jump. Here in Chicago, AEW Dynamite just finished up. We had the main event of MJF versus Chicago's own CM Punk. And surprise to some, maybe not a surprise to others, CM Punk lost in Chicago.
He took an L.
Hey, he took an L. His first L in AEW. MJF won not once, but twice in this matchup. He beat him twice. And I'm saying that specifically because that first finish, even though they say, we're restarting the match, I don't know. I feel like that was a little sus, calling that one a restart of the match and, he used the look, I mean, yes.
He got away with it, man.
He got away with it, and you already said it was over. And look, even if you watch it close too, okay, so he pulled him in.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Nick. Yep. He pulled him in, with the tape. Okay, cool. But then he put him in the sleeper. And the sleeper, it didn't look like he was using the tape anymore. So I'm like, okay, this is legit now. And he put CM Punk to sleep. So CM Punk is out cold. And I'm just like, okay, that's it. Like, that's as clean as it gets. I'm sorry.
Next match.
We still got more time on the show. I guess this wasn't the main event. Okay. Like, there's still time. Let's go. So, but no. So what they ended up doing, MJF raises his arms up, and the tape drops to the ground, and they both kind of slowly look to the ground and see the tape, and they look at each other. CM Punk and the referee. Or MJF, I'm sorry, and the referee.
Yep.
And then the referee goes over and says, the match will continue. And I'm saying, okay, as much as, I like CM Punk. That's our guy, Chicago's own. CM Punk, one of my favorites ever.
But I was there for the debut when he came back to Rampage, man.
You were there for that. Yep. My first live event ever was seeing the main event of CM Punk and John Cena at Money in the Bank. That was my first ever WWE live event. I've been watching for years, but that was the first time I was lucky enough to go. Thank you for the love, Mark. Thank you for the love. Mark's with the mics. Yes.
Mark's with the mics, man. Yeah, JT, man. Big 6'9" over there. He got a good podcast. I'm going to give him a quick shout out, man, because he deserves it, man. Go check out his podcast on every audio platform, streaming platform. Check him out. Yeah, salute to Mark, man. JT.
Yeah. And then, so much love for CM Punk and all that. Yep. But I mean, if you lose clean, I gotta call it, you lose clean. that was pretty clean to me. I'm sorry. You know, like that tape,
was.
it was after the fact and it really didn't do much. All he did was pull you in with it. But whatever. Okay.
So choked you a little bit with it. And then he took the rest. Right.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's as illegal as using the steel steps at this point, in my eyes. You know, like if you throw someone in the steel steps or whatever, you throw them into the post, you know, I think it's all kind of in the same vein, in my humble opinion. So the match continues, back and forth, some good spots. And then we have Wardlow come out. Now, this is where I felt I wanted something to happen, and I didn't get necessarily what I wanted. And I think you know where I'm going with this, with me saying that, because of what I've been saying these last couple of weeks, that with Wardlow, I feel like I'm ready for Wardlow versus MJF. I feel like it's time. I just don't know how they're going to do this. I don't know how they're going to make this transition. And so when Wardlow came out, I'm like, oh, this is it. This is the moment.
That's what I thought
too. This is the moment. You know, just have Wardlow, like he stepped up to CM Punk. You know, he stepped over Max.
Yep. Face to face.
Face to face with CM Punk. And then, you know, there's nothing. Then he moves to the side, says, okay, you know, have at it. I said, oh, shit, this is it. Okay, cool. But then, and I didn't even see it when it happened, apparently, Wardlow threw the Dynamite Diamond ring into the ring to MJF. MJF has it. You know, CM Punk, the referee distracted. CM Punk turns around, gets clocked in the head with the Dynamite Diamond ring. 1, 2, 3. Match is over officially now.
Decided.
Done. Finite. Okay, cool. You know, he won, and I feel like it's the right move to do to have MJF win this match, to put him over. He's the young guy. Give him that big dub to say, hey, he beat CM Punk in Chicago twice. Like, if I'm MJF, if I'm, you know, back there, if I have MJF's ear, I'm saying, hey, this is your version of Chris Jericho beating The Rock and Stone Cold in the same night. You can say you beat CM Punk in Chicago twice in the same night.
Yeah. And I'll talk to Tony like, matter of fact, you might as well add 2 wins for me.
In the record books.
Right, the record
I want them
books.
both in there.
Right. You got 2 losses, not 1. 2 losses for CM Punk.
Yep. Oh, man. So share your thoughts, man. What was your thoughts on this match?
Oh, dude, this match was awesome, man. I think this was CM Punk's best match he had since he came back to AEW. You know, he looked like he was back in more of back more of the swing of things, man. And I like that. He seemed like he was more fluid, and it wasn't like, you know, a little choppy. But here he was just fluid with MJF, and I love how MJF was, man. To me, he's my favorite heel in AEW. All right, I said that before throughout this podcast. He's my favorite heel in AEW, and he showed the reasons why he's my favorite heel. He was very smart. He beat him twice. The first time, very smart. Had the little string, brought him in, choked him a little bit, and then he took care of the rest. I'm like, okay, like to your point, I thought it was done. I'm like, it is decided. Cool. Let's keep this show going.
For me.
We got time. Well, another promo or something, another match, bonus match or something. Let's go. Let's keep it going. And then, you know, the ref restarted. I'm gonna be real. I really don't like that ref.
Yeah, he's been involved in a couple of like shenanigans,
some sus matches. Like he ain't smart. Like he ain't using his brain.
Honestly, Aubrey's the only one that I feel like I trust at this point. You know, when Aubrey's there, she's a general. Like she tells it how. Like, look, this is how it's gonna be. You know, when she lets things slide, that makes sense. Like, hey, it's a championship match.
Yep.
I'm not calling the DQ to end it this way. Not that way. Like Aubrey, you know, she's smart with it. But the rest of these refs that they got, man, they just look like, I don't know, like they don't know what they're doing sometimes when they're in there.
Very sus. But very sus.
For comedy, it works. I feel like for the humor side, like it works. You know, so I'm okay with it, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, man. But to me, it was, like I said before, it was the best match CM Punk provided. But MJF, man, he put out a performance. And like you said, man, he got the kudos, the accolades, and just brag in every town. I beat CM Punk in his hometown. I beat him twice. 2 times. Dos.
2 times. Yeah. So with that said, what do you think's next? Where do we go? Do we continue? Because, you know, AEW, they don't typically do rematches that often. Yeah. Do you think this is over with between the two of them? Or do you think hey, they're gonna keep this going one more time. I think Revolution is the next pay-per-view they got. Maybe we stretch it out.
Yeah, I think they go one more time to Revolution, then they'll cut it, and then maybe they'll branch off to Wardlow, MJF. It might be another tease at Revolution that Wardlow might come out, think he's going to help out, and then they'll go for the swerve right there, and there you go, and they'll branch off.
Yeah, and shout out to Bishop, Terrible Wrestling Takes, because I got him in my head right now. And I'm thinking about is this story going too long, or is this a good long-term story? Because for me, I'm conflicted now. The fact that what's up? Thank you for the love.
Yes, that's family right there. Go and check out our podcast,
yes.
Wrestle Bread.
Yes.
All right.
For me, I'm enjoying the back and forth promo work, but I feel like there's not much more they can do as far as like the promos back and forth. I mean, I guess this adds a new wrinkle to it a little bit, but I was ready for it to be done here. And when Wardlow came out, I felt like, oh man, not only are they going to end it here in Chicago, but you got Wardlow getting ready to turn face on MJF. It just felt perfect. Like, okay, let's just cap it here.
Yeah.
But now we're talking about, okay, it may not be done. To your point, I agree with you. I think the way they're going to book it is they're going to stretch this out and then tease the Wardlow turn again. But I almost feel like you should have just done that here because honestly, I feel like Wardlow is gaining a lot of steam. And I feel like that crowd was ready for him to move on. So what you think about that?
That's a good point. Like they had the momentum. The energy seemed right too to make that call. I think I'm fine with dragging it out, but the only thing I'm not fine is the promos because the promos seem stagnant now. They would have to add a new wrinkle. It seemed like the back and forth banter between CM Punk and MJF. It seemed like they squeezed the turnip too much now. So they have to switch things up. Maybe add some different elements. Maybe MJF to say, if you want another rematch, you have to not like the trials or like but maybe something else, man. I don't know.
Because then it gets really like Jericho, because this happened with Jericho too, where he beat Jericho and then he said, okay, I want a rematch with you, MJF, and MJF made him, go through the trials. I hope they don't do it again with Max. That'd be real lazy, if they go that route. Hopefully they come up with something creative. Like you said, the promos, I feel like I've been okay with them, but where I agree with you is it's kind of devolved into this city sucks. I like this city. It's basically about that. Like the last one in Cleveland was just about, I wouldn't do it in a shit town like Cleveland. Hey, well, like these guys in Cleveland, they keep fighting and I keep fighting too. I'm like, guys, I mean, if that's it, then let's move on, really. So.
Circle Debate got to say, it's going to be a long story, but I feel that it shouldn't unless the rematch happens, and I feel this time Wardlow will turn face, and Wardlow will hold off the rest of the Pinnacle not to interfere.
Yeah. I mean, okay, I like that. I like that a lot as far as that's a natural progression for where we're going. Since they did make the decision to keep it going, you should have, Wardlow use the Wardlow MJF storyline now in it going forward and have that be the cap to this story. So end the CM Punk MJF story with something with Wardlow turning, and then that can easily transition it into Wardlow and MJF. So yeah, man, I like that. I think that makes sense. I mean, I was ready for it now. They're gonna stretch it out a little bit longer. It is what it is. I'm just, don't overstay your welcome.
They got to change it up. They got to change up the promos. That's what they got to do. Everything else is fine. The wrestling was fine. You saw the match. It was a fun fucking match. It's just the promo is like you said, man. Talk about the town. It just seems more fluff now. So maybe they got to get a little more dig deep.
All right. Did you see what happened with Adam Hangman Page?
No. I didn't. I didn't. I did see what happened with Mox and Bryan Danielson.
Oh, see, I didn't see that. Tell me about that. Because I missed the beginning.
Okay. So I missed the match that, shout out to John Moxley had with Willa Yuta. I missed that. So I gotta catch that. But I did catch the promo he had with Bryan Danielson, because after the match, Mox beat Willa Yuta. Bryan Danielson came out, basically said, like, man, like, I'm not here to fight. It's like, and then he said, like, hey, do you want to see us fight? And the crowd like, yeah. And he's like, well, I'm not here to fight. Like, I want to work with you. It's like, I want to fight with you. So he proposed a tag team. He named certain wrestlers like Daniel Garcia, Willa Yuta. Like, we can mold them. You know what I'm saying? And we can make sure, like, the future of AEW for pro wrestling will be better. And I'm like, a faction with Mox and Danielson.
I see now with Kofi what he's saying now. Yeah, okay. Because I didn't see the beginning. I didn't see that at all.
Yeah.
So I have to go back and watch that. Okay. So how did Mox react to that?
He said, Bryan Danielson said, I'll give you time to think about it. Like, I don't want to answer now. Like, gonna let it marinate. I'm gonna give you time. So I like that little tease. Let it play out. Maybe we get it. I hope we get it.
What do you think is gonna happen though?
Because Mox is Mox, man.
Right. He's his own man.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. The only faction I only see him was when he was with the Shield, bro.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. And I want it. I'm going to be real. My heart wants it. I want to see a Bryan Danielson and John. I want to see what that looks like.
Because
I don't think it's going to happen.
He's still heel. Right?
Yeah, sort of, I guess.
I mean, because if he's face, like, let's say they were both faces, then I could see it happening. But
yeah, I
mean, we really haven't seen Bryan do much since, he fought for the championship against Hangman.
Been very quiet since then.
So maybe they're trying to take that opportunity to let the heat die down a little bit and then, turn Bryan back face. I mean, he really didn't do anything too heelish. He was just cocky about the fact that he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. He wrestled at WrestleMania, and Hangman didn't. And Hangman doesn't defend his championships, and he did. The night after he won the championships, or right after. So, I could see a world in which you could basically have Bryan be, kind of a face or even a tweener, and him and Mox are kind of teamed up a little bit. That'd be interesting. Yeah. I'm interested in what's going on with that. I definitely want to go back and watch that. So that should be cool.
Yeah. That would be my recommendation, man. Check it out, bro. Check out that promo. It was pretty badass.
So Dan Lambert made 2 appearances here on this show. One was with the Hangman segment with Lance Archer. They had a little thing. Go back and watch that when you can. But they basically, are teasing the Texas death match that they're going to have next Wednesday on Dynamite for the AEW championship. So that was one, but another was with Brandy. And this is basically where I started watching the show. I turned it on, I got home from work, turned it on, and I'm seeing Brandy in the ring getting booed, just getting booed. And I'm like, I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, she's getting the business from this crowd. And she's trying to say stuff, and act tough and this and that. And crowd's not having it, and I'm like, how are they gonna react to Dan? Are they gonna cheer Dan Lambert? They really didn't, but Dan was saying some he was saying some wild shit, man. He was talking about, like, what did he say? He said he basically mentioned how back in WWE, like, she was face down doing some dirt, some shit, and like, he was like, even without the context, just hearing that line, like, Brandy, you was face down in WWE, like, that was last time you were relevant, or whatever the hell he was saying. It's like, okay. And then he mentioned, he's got a little bit more time before he gets canceled in this cancel culture. So, because some of the stuff he's saying is kind of out there, Oh, Kyle, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yes, On the Mark podcast. Appreciate it, man. Kyle, thank you.
But Dan was on fire, man. I'll tell you that. For me, some of it was kind of on the right there on that line where it's like, okay, you may be going too far a little bit, but
some borderline shit. That one line you saying, I'm like, bro.
He said it. I heard blah 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 blah, face down, blah blah blah. And I'm like, the fuck is this?
Some Charlie Brown shit, man.
Right.
Face down.
Sometimes I'm like, when he gets on the mic, I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like he flows with it real good. He's got the energy. I think it's cool. But sometimes I'm just like, all right, I hear you just yelling, man. It's what it is. So it's a mess. Let's see. What's they saying? It's a mess. We really going back to slut shaming as a shtick, i.e. Stephanie McMahon. Yeah. So that's the thing. Like, I feel like it reached a line to where it was right there. And I said, what is this man saying? And that's the part that sticks out the most.
Did he save the segment? So that's what JD's saying.
Okay, so to JD's point, there's a lot to this, man. You just gotta have to see it to make up your own mind. I'll tell you that. But when I came into it, again, Brandy was getting booed.
Yeah.
Whatever she was saying. And then Dan Lambert gets on the mic and he's saying some stuff. And then I hear that comment about her and WWE being face down. And I said, oof.
Man. Like, hey now. Hey now. Like, bro.
Right. And so I will say this, that, I think that there should be a certain line that you don't cross. I think that Brandy probably knew that line was coming and they probably talked about it. And, it is what it is. Otherwise, you're not going to say that to the EVP's wife, on her show, basically. Like, that's not going to happen. So I think it was what it was. And it's one of those things you just got to watch. Yeah.
Just like Lambert.
I think so. What's interesting about this, in the comments, you see people on either like, hey, no, like this was too far, or hey, like it saved the segment and it was positive. I think you're going to get those mixed reactions, honestly. I felt like someone had to come out and defend Brandy because she was getting roasted, LOL. Yeah. Yeah, well, it was even more than that, man.
Where was Cody at?
I don't know. He wasn't there. He wasn't there. And the crowd was just
right.
She was getting that
disrespected smoke. Another man's wife like that. I'm sorry.
And he was nowhere to be found. He was nowhere to be found. He's on the Go Big show. I saw right after AEW went off the air.
He's there, huh?
He's there, but he can't be there to defend his wife. Hey, man, I don't know.
Damn right. Where was Cody at? Exactly, bro.
Yeah.
That's your wife.
Yeah, and you letting this man talk some nonsense about it. I don't know. Was he there when Jake the Snake did the whole snake thing? Did he show up?
Shit.
I don't think he did.
I thought he did.
I don't remember.
Because I remember he had a snake. I was like, this little.
Right. I hope he did. Because right now I'm trying to remember, like, if he did. In the comments, if y'all remember when Jake the Snake put the snake on Brandy, did Cody come out? Because if he did, man, you're starting to build up a pattern here of not, having her back.
Comment?
Yeah, where's the Corbin heat? Yeah. Oh, that's what it felt like. Again, I came in late, but
yeah,
that sounds accurate. That sounds accurate from what I was getting. So I don't know, man.
Damn, it's like the Great Value Coordinate. Pepsi Field, bro. With these comments. Shout out to Pepsi Field, by the way, man. We did a first time ever live discussion thread for Royal Rumble. And man, we had a lot of engagement. Man, Pepsi Phil, he kept it going. He had some wild comments in there, bro. Shout out, salute to Pepsi Phil.
So we're going to leave that one alone, but I don't know. We'll see what happens with the storyline going forward. Paige Van Zant showed up. So apparently it looks like they're building up a Paige Van Zant versus Brandy matchup, which it's funny that Paige Van Zant comes in the same week that Ronda Rousey shows up in WWE, which is kind of like, okay, is this your version of that? Is you trying to compete with what they got? She's not.
I didn't even think about that until you just said it. I'm like,
I did, because it's just where has Paige Van Zant been? And then the week that you get Ronda Rousey showing up, AEW goes, hey Dan, can you bring Paige back? Like, I don't know, man. It just felt like they're trying to compete with that just a little bit. It felt like that way to me. Hey, Paige is a fighter. She's not on that level. She never got to Ronda Rousey level, but she's a legit fighter. She does bare knuckle boxing, I think it is now.
Oh, shit. Bare knuckle?
Yeah. She used to do UFC. She got cut from the UFC, or I think she left because she got more money, but she wasn't winning towards the end. Right?
Yeah,
right?
Good. Yeah. Hey, that's the Messiah. That's the Messiah right there.
Man, this is how it comes to me sometimes, man. But yeah, like, Paige, she's a legit fighter, so I give her all props, kudos, and everything. And she should kill Brandy. This shouldn't even be a match. I'm sorry. Like, it just shouldn't even be competition if they do that matchup. And Brandy's going to get booed anyway. So just let her get squashed.
Unless she's going to have somebody have some help.
She needs backup. Right. Yep, she needs somebody helping her out. But all right. So that real quick, I'm going to roll through a couple other notes. Oh, speaking of Wardlow, I was thinking that the Wardlow MJF like pairing right now in their story feels a lot like when Batista was in Evolution and him and Triple H in that relationship. That was
Messiah,
one that
man.
I was getting those vibes. No, I took a note. I was watching the show and I'm like,
yeah.
Ooh, this reminds me WrestleMania when Batista won the Rumble and they're like, hey, why don't you go to SmackDown, and fight for that championship? And then they were talking shit. Ric Flair and him like, big dummy dude, he'll never see this coming. Blah, blah. And then he picks Triple H, thumbs up, thumbs down, puts him to the table.
Remember that,
dude, man. I was like,
Triple H just, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, good job, good job. Yeah, SmackDown, good job. Nope. Oh man, I care more about Ranch and Brock's top notch than Van Sant, Rousey, and Brandy. Oh man,
Pepsi Phil.
Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. So yeah, man, and come to find out too, Wardlow is a big fan of Batista. Yep. Yes, WrestleMania 21 storyline. Thank you. Wardlow's a big fan of Batista. That's one of the people that got him, interested in wrestling when he was younger. So yeah, man. Watch the Wardlow. Yes, that is my start. Thank you.
Messiah, man. He on point tonight. 3-year anniversary. Shit.
Hey man, I'm on it. I'm bringing it today. So, I feel like Wardlow, man, he's on that rise. He's going to be a main player for a long time to come. And, I'm really excited for that storyline. So just wanted to bring that up. I didn't want to forget that. Inner Circle, are we done? Is it done now? Because it's Santana and Ortiz, not tagging in Jericho. And Jericho tonight was saying, hey, y'all were disrespectful.
Mandatory meeting.
Right, mandatory. Attendance is mandatory. You better show up.
Sounding real retail manager-like right now, man.
I don't care what you got planned, what you got going on. Mandatory meeting.
Right. Oh, what's up, Drew?
Man.
Shout out to Drew.
What's going on?
Yeah, check out his podcast, by the way.
Yes. So what you think? Is it done or you think it's going to keep going?
It's done. It is decided. It's coming to a close.
I feel like I'm ready for it. It's okay.
Me too. That was the first faction for AEW.
Yep.
It's ran its course. Yeah. It is done.
Yeah.
Let Santana Ortiz, Pride and Powerful, and he go. Let him go for it. You know what I'm saying? They've been distracted. Honestly, I thought they was on a trajectory to get the gold when they had that awesome parking lot brawl with the best friends. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, that was a damn good match. All right, now they should be able to, you know what I'm saying, be able to have like some momentum. Even though they took the L, they still have some momentum to get basically on their path to get gold, but just never happened.
Yeah, man. It feels like it's way overdue for those two guys to get tag team championship gold. At least to have a championship match. Like, let's
yes, that's right. Tribal Chief, you just decided.
They should have at least had a couple more opportunities at the tag team championships by now. So them not having it, it's a shame. And hopefully, with them potentially splitting up coming this Wednesday, it leads to more opportunities for them. So definitely looking forward to that. Hopefully, fingers crossed they actually go that route. Because I feel like I'm ready for it. All right. Surprise segment. Devin doesn't know nothing about this.
Right. You said I got a special topic.
I got a special topic, man. You want to take a guess? On what it's
I'm bad at guesses. Just
no guess. Okay.
No guess.
All right.
Not good at guesses. That's your thing.
So the special topic is gonna be oh man, NXT 2.0.
Oh, what?
We're gonna talk NXT 2.0.
I would have never got that.
Yeah,
I would have never got that in a million years, bro.
NXT 2.0. And then you see the people tuning out. They're like, nah. NXT 2.0. Let's talk about it.
Hold on. First, why are we talking about it? Why this topic?
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you right now, and this is since Johnny Gargano.
Look at JD. She's shot.
Yeah. Since Johnny Gargano had his final speech on NXT, there's been weeks where I've tried to tune in to NXT 2.0, and I just couldn't do it. I would have it going on, and I'm watching it. Since he's a big fan.
That's right. 2.0.
I was watching it, and I always say to myself, like, something in me. It's just it's hard to get into it. I still got that black and gold love for for what it was before. My respect for Triple H, is still strong, man. I still feel like they did them dirty.
Discussions about this,
dude. They fired William Regal. I've talked about all sorts of stuff compared to Teen Titans Go, all this stuff, right? So
salute to Half K. What's up, Half K?
Hey, perfect timing.
Yes. They're fans of 2.0.
Yes. So and it's been pulling at me, man. I'm like, because the reason why I've tried to get myself to at least tune in and see a little bit of it here and there is because there's still wrestlers there that I have respect for. There's still like, your Pete Dunnes, your Tommaso Ciampas, your
LA Knight,
like there's names there. Io Shirai, Raquel Gonzalez, Kaylee Ray that I have a lot of respect for that are there that I'm like, oh man, like I want to be able to see them and support them.
Yes.
But I feel how I feel. So, I just from week to week I try to tune in, and it's kind of a struggle. This week I got through most of the show. This is the furthest I've gone seeing the show.
Whoa, hold on, bro.
Yes.
What?
I got through most of the show. Most of it. This is breakthrough. Most of the show.
Yes.
I saw pretty much beginning, middle, and end. There were some parts where I was like, let me, do something else.
I got you.
But, for the most part, I saw pretty much everything that happened on this show. So I wanted to kind of just break down my thoughts on what I think NXT 2.0 looks like, given the last time I sat down and watched a whole episode, was probably the very first episode. And then I saw the Johnny Gargano episode, but pretty much just for Johnny Gargano. Yeah. I saw mainly the ending. And then I've seen clips here and there of matches sporadically. So one thing that I see is that there are some wrestlers there that feel like they definitely belong in NXT 2.0, and I feel like they're doing a great job, right? So you got your Braun Breakers, you got your Carmelo Hayes, who both of those two guys right now, I feel like they belong in NXT 2.0. It's not yet time to have them go to the main roster, but they're getting there. Should they be in the Royal Rumble? We'll get to that. But there's some guys that I feel like that it definitely makes sense that they're there, and I feel like they're thriving. They're doing a great job. Grayson Waller, I feel like I'm not totally bought into him currently, but I feel like I see what they're doing with him. I see what they're trying to do.
I'm feeling the Waller effect.
Building him as a heel, and getting that heat. The stuff he did with LA Knight on this episode, like coming in at the end, giving him that cutter, and then standing over him saying, "You don't belong here. This is my NXT," and like getting his face. Like, I see what they're trying to do, but I feel like if we're looking at it as developmental, he's definitely a developing prospect.
There we go.
They're trying to figure him out as a heel. So I get that. Okay. And I got a list of names here. So the Creed brothers.
I am fucking shocked right now.
Yeah. So we had the Creed brothers, and Roderick Strong versus Imperium, right? Which that match, great match, right? Yeah. They did a great job. I feel like the standouts there were the Creed brothers. That those two guys, as far as trying to highlight young, new talent, those two guys feel like, okay, this is the reason why NXT 2.0 is doing what they're doing. Is to try to build people like this. Now, there's another half to this whole conversation, though, where I feel like there are people there that don't feel like they fit anymore. And that I feel like you either call them up or you let them go. And that's where I feel like...
I feel that same way, too, about certain wrestlers.
Yeah, that's where I feel a little confused, and maybe where I think WWE might be a little bit conflicted as to what NXT 2.0 really is. So on one hand, I feel like there is there are people there that I see they're developing, and it makes sense. When I watch them on screen, I'm like, okay, this makes sense to me. It feels like OVW when I look at Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes. I mean, I've got the Creed brothers, Grayson Waller, Tony D'Angelo, Joe Gacy, Von Wagner. Like those people on the men's side, I feel like definitely
some names.
Dude, I'm telling you, I took notes because I wanted to be able to talk about this. You know, we got Cora Jade, right? So Cora Jade, young new talent, you know, like makes sense. Gigi Dolan, JC Jane, Electra Lopez, Saray with her new kind of gimmick that they get. It's not really a new gimmick, but transformation thing, which that was a little weird, but
seems to be anime like.
It is what it is. So honestly, there was a lot more upset around that and I didn't know. I'm like, okay, let's see what's going on. And when I saw it, I'm like, it's not that bad. I mean, I get it that, okay, she's doing the schoolgirl thing in the promo, but then when she came out, it wasn't like she did like a demeaning archetype thing as her character. It's like, hey, she's basically being empowered by this son thing that reminds her of her grandmother or whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. That's fine. Wendy Chu, I'm a fan. I'm gonna say this right now. Wendy Chu, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Wendy Chu. The swimming gimmick, the onesie.
Yes, it was.
I'm a
Loved
fan.
it.
I'm a fan. Wendy Chu is great. She won me over.
Wrestling pajamas in a onesie.
In the onesie.
I'll be hot as hell. I'll be like, shit.
Right.
Shit.
she is entertaining as all hell. So seeing her, I was like, okay, that brought a smile to my face. I enjoyed watching that. And Zoe Stark, who I think she's injured right now, but makes sense that she's in NXT 2.0. Now, the people that feel like they don't fit anymore, Tommaso Ciampa, Pete Dunne, Roderick Strong, Fabian Eichner, Marcel Bartel, and the maybe infamous now Walter, a.k.a. Gunther, which the crowd, you know, kept chanting Walter.
I was like chanting Gunther.
Right. And, I mean, you know my thoughts on the whole, you know, name change. I'm not a fan of it. I feel like a guy like Walter, who had built up, you know, such a prestige with me personally, I feel like, okay, you know, changing his name, it kind of is a sign of things it's a bad sign to me of things to come if they're already tinkering with his character. But what I will say is Walt Gunther is talented enough to get almost anything over if you allow him to kind of put his whole self into it, and if you just book him well. If the booking is good, I think he can get it over. I don't think it would take much for him to go to, you know, Raw or SmackDown as Gunther and it still be okay because of how he wrestles. The stiff chops, you know, just the mastermind in terms of ring IQ, the ring general, you know, and you put them in Imperium, that imposing force that they are. I feel like if you put them, I actually would say on SmackDown, that's where I would put them. You know, you put them on SmackDown, you have them debut together. I feel like that group right there could be imposing, and Gunther can still get over. So I love Walter and everything that he's done. You know, I wish they didn't have to change the name. Whatever reason they did, maybe it's business. Who knows?
What'd you think of that match though with Dynamite?
That's what I said. I said it was great.
Oh, okay.
So the match was great. Yeah.
All right.
No, the match was awesome, man. Fast paced. You know, they all did their thing. The standout to me, honestly, were the Creed brothers. Like the Creed brothers, those two guys, they have a similar style to Imperium. They're very hard hitting, you know, stiff workers, and you know, kind of crazy too. Honestly,
they're just not as fluid as Imperium.
They're not as fluid, and you can tell there's some work to be done there.
Yep.
There's some work. Again, developmental, right? So she's more entertaining than Orange Cassidy. Yeah, I said it. Oh wow, I thought of Orange Cassidy honestly when I saw.
You can.
Like there's a similarity there, you know, where it's just like there's comedy wrestling, you know, going on, and I don't know, just Wendy Chu is just great. I think everything she's doing, just keep doing it. You know, it's kind of like Danhausen. Like he's got a specific thing that he does. He doesn't even need to wrestle, and he's just entertaining. Like it's just one of those.
I gotta see more of him, man, because instantly I'm not feeling him.
Have you seen his vlog?
No, I need to see his vlog to get it.
Okay. Watch the vlog, because I'll tell you, like, I had heard of Danhausen. I hadn't seen him in action all that much, but I went on his vlog, and there's some funny shit on there, man. Like him and CM Punk, you know, backstage having a back and forth was awesome. There's stuff he's done with the Gun Club, where the Gun Club, you know, they have their T-shirts, and then he had made it up because he calls them what did he say? He said the ass boys, I think it's what he calls them or some shit. And then he said, I'll see you guys at the ass ranch, and saying
what?
He's out there, dude. I'm telling you. Go watch his vlog. I think you'll be a fan. I think
okay. All right. I trust your judgment, man. I'm gonna check him out. I'm gonna check him out.
It got me. I was like, I'm gonna give this guy a chance. Let me see. I want to learn more about him. Went on the vlog. It's awesome. It's awesome. And I've seen him out of character too, and that was a little wild too. But he's there's stuff on there, stuff on him out of character. But anyway, to just close up my thoughts on NXT 2.0, I feel like WWE is a little bit conflicted on what they're trying to do. So on one hand, I think the developmental side, there are wrestlers there. It makes sense that they're there for the to grow into legitimate superstars. On the other hand, it feels like almost a waste of time for some of the wrestlers that I think they're there and they either need to call them up or let them go. There's that handful of wrestlers that when I see them, I'm like Tommaso honestly doesn't fit NXT 2.0 anymore.
No, but I think he's there to help develop the young talent like Braun Breaker or like a Grayson Waller. I think that's what they're there for, because you saw what Raquel did for Cora Jade. So I think they helped develop them. And once they're at a certain point, then you'll see them gradually make their way to the main roster.
And I guess that's fine. Like, let's say a Tyson Kidd was around in wrestling, someone like that. I feel like that would make sense to me, where someone who's had their time on the main roster didn't really work out, but they're really talented. Mm-hmm. And you say, okay, let's have them work with the young talent and sort of be a coach, like a player coach. I think that's fine. But I feel like Tommaso Ciampa is in that realm. Him, Pete Dunne, LA Knight's kind of in between, but I think Pete Dunne and Tommaso specifically, they feel like they still have something more to give as far as being a player on their own versus just trying to bring up other people. Like, they haven't been put over yet, and they're already putting other people over, if that makes sense, on like a mainstream standpoint. Like, NXT Black and Gold really never got that like mainstream, like, okay, legitimate, hey, we're gonna try to push this and really make this like Raw and Smack. It was never like that. It was like, okay, we know we've got something fun here, so let's try to steal some ratings away or whatever. But I feel like it'd be nice to see Tommaso go. I mean, I don't know if he's gonna make it. I don't have high hopes, but hey, try it. Raw.
You already got him on
main event.
Main event. I was about to say Superstar.
Yeah, they had like dark matches. Superstars. That's a deep cut.
Right. I'm about to say that literally. Yeah. But you're right. Main event, man. I know I've seen him and Pete Dunne. I think and they're using Pete Dunne's original music as well for main event. So I don't know, man. We'll see if usually that's the testing period, because I remember they did that with Bianca before she had moved on to the main roster.
I see Half K put, they're trying their best to include the remainder of the Black and Gold roster. That's probably where the disconnect is, since there's more 2.0 folks now. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't think they really know how to go about like certain wrestlers like that, who are from the Black and Gold brand, and mix them together with these 2.0 wrestlers. Like, all they've really done is they've paired one from Black and Gold and one from T-Bar too. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
One from Black and Gold and one from 2.0. Like, paired them up that way. I feel like it's just the respect that I have for some of those wrestlers that were from Black and Gold. I think at this point now, it's just like, hey, let's just move them up and give them a try, or not.
Son right there. Let me acknowledge my son, my little daddy. This DJ, you're the best daddy. Appreciate that. Man. Appreciate that, little man, Junior.
DJ, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. Showing your dad love. There you go.
Right. Go to bed.
It's okay. It's okay.
Right. It's all
good. Up to show love. That's cool. Yep. So yeah, in general, I just feel like they just got to make a decision, man. I feel like if this whole roster was just, new people, and let's say we spent time, like, I would love to see segments or more segments, I should say, where they have interviews with some of these wrestlers and trying to like show their background, like, their journey to NXT 2.0, like what they, their childhood and what that was like. Like, I want to learn more about them. So like, kind of take that approach to NXT 2.0.
Yeah,
like, let's
yeah.
get to know these wrestlers a little bit more in depth. We don't really, like, again, Tommaso and all these guys, we don't really need that. Like, they kind of feel like fleshed out characters already. But some of these newer people, the Creed brothers, I want to know, like, what's their history?
I do.
You know, like, they seem like amateur wrestlers who, you know, have had some success probably. I want to learn about that. Show me like a Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar thing where I see like footage of them from their amateur wrestling. Like, build up the Creed brothers like that, man. Like, that'd be sick. So I feel like they should do more than that. So more focus on the newer people and really just like hurry up and move some of these people, the black and gold wrestlers, out of there. Because it just feels like it's something completely different. And I think that for me is where I'm like, okay, it's still tough, you know?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. I get it. That's a fair point. But I think I see what there's, you know, because since their development and they help grooming.
You want veterans there with
right. You got to have veterans there. But maybe, but I hear your point, like Tyson Kidd, maybe use some different veterans.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll see there. But yeah, man, I just wanted to bring that up, I checked it out because I wanted to see, like, all right, let me see what the Pete Dunnes, the Tommaso Ciampas are doing, and then let me just check out some of these newer wrestlers, and they did a background of vignettes. Okay, I want to see that, because those two, I mean, that was a little bit of a cringe segment with those two, with Mandy Rose, I gotta say.
My man was he looked up, he was like, oh.
They were just talking about Mandy Rose, and sure enough, she comes in, lands in this man's lap, and then this dude can't handle it, and he's like, hey, come on, let's go follow him. And honestly, I'm sorry, I don't know. I think it was Malik that was sitting down.
It was Malik.
He just stood up, and she's like, let's go. And Malik was like, no, I can't go.
Bro, right.
Come on, man, let's go. And
you
Malik
ain't listening.
Like, no, listen, I can't. Like, I can't move. It's just like, okay, we get it. That was what it was. It's fine. And even the whole
Bishop.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, elbow cough.
Guess what? We're talking about NXT 2.0.
We're talking about NXT 2.0.
And I didn't bring it up.
Nope. Special topic. I felt it was appropriate for the 3-year live celebration. Like, hey, let me come out here. You couldn't handle it. You couldn't handle Mandy. She landed
too much hotness.
But I feel like, NXT 2.0, like, there's people that, just to summarize it before we move on, in my experience, my viewing experience of it was, there's some people that think they're doing a great job with, as far as like developing them and showcasing them. And I want more segments where they kind of go in depth. When it comes to some of the black and gold wrestlers that are still there, they feel a little bit out of place to me. Devin, your point noted, they're using them as like, hey, let's get them ready. Almost like, not trainers, but like, an experienced veteran to show them the ropes. I feel like that's cool, for me, just different veterans. But overall, like, it is what it is. They're a little bit confused, I think, in what direction to go in, because it's not a third brand, but they're still doing a lot of things they did when Black and Gold, when people thought it was a third brand, and they're doing more promotion now of it than they did with Black and Gold. So that's where I feel like
even AJ Styles came through, man.
Yeah, he did. And now probably Dolph Ziggler is next. You know, him and Braun Breaker, had a thing. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, man, I'm gonna try. I can't promise that this is on Wagner. Oh, hell no. Von Wagner. Never. Never.
Nah.
How you feel about Von Wagner?
Let's see what happens. Now he got a manager. He has a mouthpiece.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see what happens now. if that's the recipe for Von Wagner, little manager package.
Oh man. All right. So enough. All right. Let me shake that out. All right. Since you went all off me. Okay.
See, I knew it. Like someday.
I said, so for me, will it be a consistent thing where I'm here talking about NXT 2.0 all the time? No, probably not. But I do want to support. I do want to show love to the wrestlers there. That, and I feel like it's not their fault that Vince decided to do, my guy Triple H like this. So it is what it is. When/if Triple H ever comes back, I'm definitely, that's my guy. I'm going to support, but in the meantime, will I see an episode from time to time? I could say probably, here
maybe a takeover special, right?
Yeah, I could see that. Now I'm more open to it. Yeah, like the next one they got coming up, Vengeance Day. I might check that out.
All right. Yeah. Oh yeah, thanks. Appreciate it, Bishop. Yeah, we the ones.
Yeah. Speaking of which, that's a perfect transition to our Royal Rumble recap. All right. So this, if you follow social media or you're listening to what a lot of people are saying, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of energy out there around the Royal Rumble. And how people felt about it.
A lot of mixed feelings. A lot of mixed feelings.
And we haven't shared, I don't know how you felt about it. You don't know how I felt about it.
We didn't share. Right.
So we don't know yet. So
radio silence on the
it's Royal been Rumble. Radio silence. So let's jump into it. But I'm going to ask you, because usually, we save the main event for last. But I feel like, given what happened.
Yeah, let's do it.
Wait, you want to go that route? Because I feel like
no. I said let's go in that order. Right. How they did the format. Let's talk about.
All right, so let's go. Because I think that makes sense given what all transpired throughout the night. So let's go there. Which I was shocked to hear that theme music playing for Roman Reigns, right? And he's starting off the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. It's Roman Reigns coming out first. So first off, I'm like, oh my God, I thought this was going to be potentially the main event, or at least the last match before the men's Rumble, because it's Roman. And then I'm thinking, why the hell is Roman, the champion, coming out first?
Yeah.
The champion doesn't come out first. The champion comes out second, unless you're Big E and, Brock Lesnar is thrown in your match.
This tribal chief.
Right.
Tribal chief, head of the table.
Right. So I'm thinking, what is happening? Is Seth Rollins winning this match? What are they about to do to Roman Reigns? Dude, these are the thoughts. And then you hear, dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. And, okay, so I got to take you through, just the journey in my head while this is all happening. One, I couldn't even process what I was hearing. I'm like, wait, that's music, Roman Reigns. And then I had a fun thought in my head. I was like, it would be funny if this were some, I don't know, just fantasy.
I popped too, JD. I definitely popped. I stood up and I was face flat on the floor because I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Well, here's the thing. A part of me was like, what if WWE did something funny and they had how they do Gilbert for Goldberg? If it would have been a fake Roman Reigns. He's out there. In the crowd. That was my immediate thought. Are they about to troll Roman hard right now? Is Seth Rollins going to this route, putting a fake Roman Reigns in the Shield uniform or whatever? That'd have been crazy. But I'm like, nah, I know what they're doing. These dudes, Seth freaking Rollins is up there with the Shield gear and everything. And they turned to him, and I saw him. I'm like, no way. Immediately, I yelled at my screen. I'm like, you are my favorite wrestler. Right now, you are my favorite wrestler.
Messiah podcast.
Dude, guy, I stood up. I was here, I stood up. I said, this man, Seth Rollins, are you serious right now? And you see Roman Reigns' face, and he's pissed. This dude, you're going to disrespect
Uber pissed. Uber pissed, my guy.
This? Holy, couldn't even look. I
was so disrespectful. So disrespectful, bro. I
loved it. And he was still dancing down the stairs, laughing.
And then he did the Seth Rollins flip roll over the ramp like he used to do. I'm like, dude.
But he didn't lose the laugh. He's there cackling. Fucking Wario Rollins over here just cackling. Oh my God. It was beautiful
great
storytelling. Beautiful storytelling. So it was perfect, and he stayed in the gear the whole match. During their intros, Roman went up to Seth. Fake Roman. Dude, they might still do it. They might still do it. Yes. And so, Roman goes up to Seth, and he's putting the going to his face, and Seth's not looking at him, but he's smiling. He's just like, yeah, I know I'm in your head. I know I'm in your head.
Yeah, he got the champ. He's like, yeah, I'm the champion.
Right. He's like, I know you mad.
Seth
I know
just
you
don't
mad.
give zero fuck. Just like,
Yo, I don't care.
Don't care. You're not here right now.
Loved it. Dude, I loved it. And then the match kicks off, and Seth, just like a cannon, goes right at Roman, gets the upper hand, takes him outside.
Stomping him in the corner. I'm like,
stomp him in the corner. Like Devin, your man right now. I don't know. I don't know. And then Seth took him outside and did the power bomb. And it looked like Roman didn't really help him that much. It looked like Seth just muscled him up. I'm like, I know Seth is strong and he's done this before. But watching this, I'm like, dude, Seth picked him up, powerbombed him through that table. Crowd was going nuts. I'm like, oh my God.
Power bomb, commentators are saying. I'm like, dude, oh my God, this is not looking good.
This start for this pay-per-view, fire right now. Fire. Then they get in the ring. He does the buckle bomb. Then curb stomp. 1, 2. Kicks
At
out.
this point, bro, I was like, oh shit. I stood up. I was like, what? And then Tribal Chief, he does it so well. He sell a close finisher so well. He get that right or left shoulder up real quick. And he did. I was like, oh shit. It's the big one. I'm coming home.
Yes. And so, they start going a little bit more back and forth now. You got Roman, and Roman's getting booed. Like, Roman's got, like, the heat. Like, there's no, like, hey, Roman. No, they are against Roman, and they're for Seth. So Roman's looking around like, what is this? What is this? You think you can do this to me? He's like, that's up from Training Day. Yeah. You think you can do this to me? And, he's doing everything. Superman punch to Rollins. Rollins is kicking out. They're going back and forth. He missed the spear. And there was a moment too where Rollins started the burn it down chant with the stomp of the foot.
Burn it.
Yeah, he brought that back. I said, what is happening right now? He's going to win. And then it wasn't to be. Roman speared him. Mm-hmm. And then what was it? It was a kick out? I think it was
no. He didn't go for the pin because
he didn't go
Seth,
for the pin. That's right.
He did the fist bump. Seth freaking Rollins. Right, he started laughing like he the Joker or something. Like, I still love you.
I still love you. Yes.
I was like,
still love
this
you.
dude is messed up, bro. Chopper's just like, what? Put him in the guillotine.
Guillotine, yep. Referee's like, let him go. Let him out. Because he got to the ropes, which is perfect. When
I'm not letting go.
Because the referee picked his hand up. He dropped it right on the rope perfectly. And dude, that's just the timing and the distance. It was perfect. Yeah. And the ref is trying to let him go. And he's like, no, he deserved this. He won't let me go. I won't let him go. He won't let me go. He won't let me go.
He was in his feelings, bro. He was in his feelings, bro.
Down. When he brought up the steel chair to his back, he's been in his feelings.
Yes.
You texted me, man. You're like, did you see it? I was like, yeah, man. Your boy.
Right.
Your boy, like, what's going on with your boy?
Man, Roman was cool when Seth brought it to loss. It's like, bro, that's old news, man. I'm in God mode. The minute he brought the shield to the chair to the back, he was like, hold on now.
Right.
He's like, you do that growl, that face twitch.
Yep.
He just lost it, bro.
Dude, man.
He got in his head.
Yeah, he did.
Since the beginning of the match with the shield music.
Oh, my God.
You heard the shield.
It was so great. And then,
it was like Sierra Hotel. I'm like, holy shit.
Yep.
Doing
dude, man, I loved it. And then so, match ends on a DQ.
Brock Lesnar
happened.
He got shit on me.
Looking at the fans, shoot program. Oh, man. It should. Someone please put Roman's face on Denzel.
Yes.
Put that up on social media.
I want to see the meme.
At us. Please. Oh, man. So after the fact, Roman, he goes, he gets a chair, and he's pissed. And the crowd's booing still. Actually, before he even got the chair, you hear, Roman sucks. Roman sucks. And he's at the rope and he hears the Roman sucks. It's just perfect timing. And he's just reacting perfectly. They start chanting Roman sucks and he hears it and he looks to the crowd and he's like,
in disgust. Huh? He was in disgust.
What? Him?
He's
you with me?
Right.
I suck. Okay. He goes, he gets a chair. What? He went, got the chair, beat him down with the chair, looked like he was about to leave, went back, hit him with a chair again, bent the damn chair, and then it felt like he was free. He's like, okay. Okay, I'm good. I can move forward now. I can move on.
Like Thanos, I could sit down and watch the sunset.
Right. I can put this behind me. I'm good. So yeah, man, it was, to me, even with that finish. I mean, do I like the fact that they did a DQ ending? No. I feel like in a way it kind of took a little bit off of the match. But what I started to get excited about was, holy shit, this match right here made me want Seth versus Roman at Mania. I'm going to say it. It made me want that at Mania. So in my head, even though they did that DQ and I was a little bit like, oh, I didn't finish, I'm still looking at it like, but what if they go with Seth and Roman at Mania, right? Now, of course, we know right. That's not what's going to happen.
Monday Night Raw.
Right. We saw what happened on Raw. We'll get there because, the Rumble and all that is going to fill into that. But, my initial thought right then and there was like, I'm all in on this because it felt like a WrestleMania main event. That matchup, the storytelling, the long-term storytelling in that's going on between these two is just perfect. So we'll see what they do for Mania, but one-on-one, it's not going to be Seth versus Roman one-on-one. All right. So any final thoughts on that before we move on to the next thing? I mean, we'll be talking about this all throughout, but
yeah. Good point about the DQ. I think it just suffers because we've seen too many DQs in WWE. If we never got so many, then this DQ will make so much fucking sense. But since we see them on a daily basis, every fucking show, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, a premium live event. We see them all.
Use that trope.
Yes,
like, it just happens.
It just suffers from that. That's the only reason. But that's why it took a little bit away from the finish. But I understood the story though. I understand. I'm like, I see the reason why. Because the Tribal Chief was in his feelings. He wanted payback. He said, I hate you, Seth. I try to forgive you for it, but in the end, I can't. He took the chair, hit him in the back, just like Seth Rollins did, man. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So beautiful story.
Chef's kiss. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Yes. Moving on to the Women's Royal Rumble match. All right. The first thing I'm going to say about this is thank you, Sasha. Thank you, Sasha Banks. The Sailor Moon intro, awesome. I'm a big fan of. We're both big fans of anime, and I saw it in the cosplaying and everything. Yep. I just love that when they do it in wrestling. And her coming out as Sasha Banks, and you know how I feel about Sasha Banks. It's my favorite female wrestler. Period. Yes. She is just class personified. She goes out, she does her thing. Like the look was amazing. She looked beautiful, and just the presence overall was just like, oh my God, I'm so happy she's back. And doing the Sailor Moon, I was like, she's done Wonder Woman, I think, before. Yep. I think that was the last Royal Rumble. That's what she did. But this one, I'm like, okay, cool. So shout out to that. Number 2 was Melina coming out. Like, okay, I don't think they really talked about Melina being there at all. I think that was a surprise.
That's a surprise to me. I was shocked. I marked out. I was like, oh, Melina.
And what was cool there, too, is that there was emotion there from Melina. You could see she was tearing up. I feel like she was genuinely excited to be there. So that was cool. There you go.
Hell yeah. Enjoy.
There you go.
It's so much on there, so much content.
Yes. So Melina, she was out there face to face with Sasha. That was pretty cool, but it ended pretty quick. Like Melina got tossed out almost immediately after they shared a quick moment, and that was that. And then it kind of kicked into the normal Rumble where people hung around for a little bit. You had Tamina, you had Kelly come out, Aaliyah showed up. And overall, one thing that caught me off guard right away was Sasha Banks got eliminated before Bianca Belair came out at 8. Yeah. That was shocking. So I wasn't pissed about it necessarily, but I was shocked. I was shocked that, okay, you just announced the day before on SmackDown, which I thought they should have just held on to that surprise anyway, that Sasha was going to be in it. Why on Friday do you spoil what you could have just shown on Saturday? Doesn't make sense.
They already gave away majority of the entrance.
Yeah.
For the World Rumble anyway, so.
It just seemed like there was a little bit of, I don't know, that her not showing up with Bianca and them having at least some moment in this matchup, I feel like was a missed opportunity, but it was what it was. Bianca, she did her thing. She came in at 8, and then there was like a lot of ups and downs as far as who came out next. The big story here with the Royal Rumble, though, we're just going to fast forward on to towards the end, the big one at number 28. We talked about this barely. We both said, hey, we will believe this when we see
that's white noise. That's white noise to me. Huh? Who you talking about? I don't hear you. No.
There's rumors.
Leave it alone.
The rumors were mounting. They kept building. It felt like, okay, this could happen, but it's been years. It's been 3 years since we've seen her. But it happened. Rowdy Ronda Rousey showed right back up, was back in WWE, and entered the Rumble at number 28. How'd you feel when you saw Ronda Rousey show up?
I marked out, man. I was like, because like I said, man, I will believe it when I see it. So mentally, when you mention the rumor, I'm like, that's white noise, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's just what's reported. I'm not gonna, treat it as like, I'm gonna treat it as a grain of salt. And that's what I did. So when I saw her, I was like, oh shit, I marked out. My daughter was right there. She saw me. She marked out too. She was like, Ronda Rousey. I was like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, when I seen her, she looked good. She came in there with some attitude. I'm like, okay. Some new gear, wearing long pants now. I'm
black.
Like, all right. I'm like, cool.
All
so,
black,
yeah.
everything. She was, man. I liked it. I liked the look. I liked the attitude. She's not pandering to the crowd. She's kind of doing her thing. It picks up perfectly from the last time we saw her, where the crowd, kind of turned on her, and she was like, what, damn that. And, was basically just about her business. Now she's back, and she has not forgotten all of that too. So I like the continued payoff of that storyline. Speaking of storytelling, Half K wrote, the storytelling with Sonya, Naomi, and Cameron was good too. Yeah, I agree. I feel like so Sonya Deville, she has this whole thing where when she's wearing the jacket, that's when she's in charge. So she kept the jacket on when she got introduced, went right to the announcer's table. Now, the only part I didn't like about this is they were talking to her and they were asking her about the competitors in the Rumble and her thoughts on it. Now, I get it. Right now, you're in GM mode, but you're also in the Rumble. So to me, it's a little weird if you, who are a competitor, are saying, well, I think Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan, I'd like to see them win. Like, wait, but you're in it. What about you? Like,
she's a GM. She's in GM mode. She got.
But you're in it though. You're in it. Come on.
I'm gonna interview you as a WWE official right now. You're not a competitor. If she had the jacket off, the jacket was.
I get it for the story. I get it for the story.
I'm trying to keep it within kayfabe. God damn it.
But she is in it. It's so
Let me have this.
That part was weird. But to your point, yes, she's keeping it completely in kayfabe. She's got the jacket. She's the GM. She's not. She's not a competitor. But then when Cameron came in, which is another surprise, they were saying, "Oh, that's one of Naomi's really good friends," and she said, "Wait, what? What'd you say? What'd you say?" Like, yeah, that's one of Naomi's really good friends. Hold on 1 second.
Took the jacket off.
She said, "You're one of her friends, huh? You one of Naomi's friends?"
Yep, jacket off time.
Careful.
Oh, yeah. That's real borderline right there. We all got a tag team called Jacket Time.
Jacket off time. Careful. So, yeah, so then that happened. She threw out Cameron, and then Naomi came out. I agree, JD. Definitely Sasha and Bianca. We could have had that another moment. It's priceless. If you want to do that, once every 3 months, just have them face off. I'm here for it. You can't go wrong with Bianca and Sasha in the same ring for me. So yeah, with Cameron, She got tossed out. Then Naomi came out. And we didn't even really get the reunion. It kind of happened off camera where Naomi went over to camera when she was on the ground. And then, she went in the ring and
she ate it.
Yes, thank you. She started fighting with Sonya right away. So they went back and forth, just brawling. Eventually, Naomi was the reason why Sonya Deville got tossed out. So it's good to see that they recognize that story and they use that in the Rumble. I like that.
Yeah.
I feel like we needed a little bit more of that, going on overall in the Rumble, but that was cool to see.
Yeah.
Before we get to the end of the Rumble, what were some of your other takeaways from the Rumble in general, from this matchup?
You talking about when
well, just like, were there any standouts for you outside of that? Because we talked about like
Ivory, when she
Naomi
came out to the censor.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Dude,
talk about
one of the worst theme musics. This is wrestling, period. So annoying. So like a wake up alarm. Like you just want to smash and hit the snooze. Yes. And she came out talking so much shit, just talking the entire time throughout her entrance.
Are little girls. Where are the women? The women. And you got Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley takes her out.
What?
Pats her on the head.
And she's still talking.
Yes.
She's picked up.
Yes.
And she's getting carried around, like a child. And she's like, where are the women? Where are the women? Don't you touch me. Don't you? And she gets tossed out. She's on the ground.
When she came out, I'm like, man, she still got it. She could be a manager for somebody.
She's, how old is she? I think she's 60?
60, yeah.
She's 60 years old. Wow. Shout out to Ivory, man.
Still look
God
good.
bless her.
Still
She
looking like in shape. Yeah. 60.
Definitely.
Yeah, still kicking promos like that.
Yeah.
I could see you be a manager from one of the women in the women's division.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. So that was cool, definitely.
Better if Stevie Richards came out instead.
Love to see Richards, but seeing Ivory was cool too, man. It was definitely cool.
Good point.
Oh, yes. I love that moment.
Yes.
So, obviously, we all remember the Riot Squad. So, seeing Sarah Logan, come out, I was shocked. And thankfully, Liv was in there. That was another situation where they thought about, let's have let's tell a story with this moment, just briefly. And Sarah goes out there, she does her thing, and there's a little face to face with Liv and Sarah, where Liv is just happy to see her friend back. So that was really cool. It was brief, and I think the Bella Twins tossed both of them out.
Oh yeah.
Which that kind of caught me off guard too. The fact that the Bella Twins did that to Liv. I could see maybe Sarah Logan, but tossing out Liv with all the momentum, it felt like she was, building off of Becky Lynch. Like, okay, you just throw her out like that. All right. I mean, that's what it is. But I hope this was not just a one and done. I hope that we get to see Sarah Logan show up some more, maybe team up with Liv, and they go after the women's tag team championships. I think that would be cool. That'd be a nice payoff for Liv to see that, because right now, I mean, Queen Zelina and Carmella, people forget sometimes they're even the tag team champions. So I think that's perfect for Liv. Give her that maybe as a WrestleMania moment. Let's go ahead and do that.
But shout out to Selena. She was wearing some cosplay too. Madara Uchiha? Did I say the name right? Anime Naruto.
Is that okay? Yeah, because I didn't recognize it right off the bat, but I knew
me
it was
either
like,
until somebody shout out to Kiki. She had tweeted it out. She put the comparison together. I'm like, that's right. That's right. So she hit it on the nail right there.
So I saw it. I'm like, I feel like I'm supposed to know this, and it looked good, but I didn't know it right away. And I'm like, I got to find out, And I asked my brothers, and they were like, yeah, me too. Like, I feel like I know this. So anyway, she loves doing cosplay, and she makes her own stuff. So I'm sure she made that one too. So yeah, shout out to Zelina on that one. But yeah, man. So Nikki ASH had a moment where Mighty Molly came out. So she came out, there was a pop. There was a good pop.
It was. Molly Holly came out too. Coming down, getting ready. Wow! Oh shit! Man, Nikki beating her ass, wheeled her into inside the ring, told her there only can be one superhero. Tossed her out. I was like, damn. Give me that match, though.
Yeah, right. I want that match.
Yes.
That needs to happen.
Yes.
Mighty Molly versus Nikki ASH. Wherever you want to do it, I don't care. Make that match. Come on, WWE.
It is decided.
Make it happen. So that was a great moment. Brie Bella doing the yes chant, having the yes chant happen when she came out was pretty cool. Like seeing that for her, and just a shout out to DB himself. So that was cool. Yeah, I feel like those are kind of the big moments really to talk about. Obviously, Lita was in the Rumble too. Ronda and Shayna Baszler kind of locking eyes, and just those two, they go way back, from their times in UFC, their time in UFC.
They squared up, but that's all they did. They just gave us the tease.
It was a tease for it. Yep. So that's 50% of the four horsewomen of MMA or of UFC. So yeah, man, just awesome seeing that happen for a moment. Were you disappointed? Because I know I was a little bit, that we didn't see certain other. Well, actually, no. There's one other big one. Before we get into this, Mickie James.
Oh yeah,
Let's
yeah.
talk about this. Mickie James.
Hardcore country.
Dude, we all knew it was going to happen. We knew she was going to be there. But the one question was, would she show up with the championship? She had the championship. Amazing. Wow. She was showing it. Hey, I'm champion. Like, oh, man. Okay. So that was cool. That was a real cool thing to see, a real cool moment. At first, when she went to the ropes, I thought they had her kicked out right away. And I think the crowd did too, because immediately when she fell off the rope, they started booing, but she hadn't made it inside yet. So she was still in the match, and she hung around for a little bit. So that was cool to see. I think it was Lita that ended up kicking her out.
Yeah,
a great moment seeing that. We won't talk about the Forbidden Door, but it was a great moment to see.
Don't
Mickie
say
James,
that. I hate that
right?
word. Forbidden Door.
From Impact.
Forbidden Door.
All right, so let's get to it, man. So at the end, we had, it was real brief, but Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey were the final two.
Yep.
And it didn't take but 5 seconds. Charlotte rushed Ronda. Ronda tossed her out.
Whoop, whoop.
That's it. Game over. Ronda Rousey wins the Rumble and points at the sign and sets it on fire.
Yep. Melton. Hold on. Shit. Like, ow.
So a lot to unpack there. So first off, Ronda Rousey winning. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm cool with it because she's a draw. That's why I'm cool with it. Does it take away from building a star? Yes, I'll admit that. But I understand on the other half that you're using Ronda Rousey. She's one of the biggest MMA stars ever, and she has that drawing power too. And then she'll have a good matchup with either she kind of played it so maybe with Becky, maybe with Charlotte. It's a good match either good way. I'd rather see it with Becky though. You know what I'm saying?
I think most people would say that.
Yeah, that's the better
most
match.
Would say it.
Yeah, with Charlotte, she's been kind of on a downswing of things. This latest SmackDown run with the championship, she just feel very irrelevant right now. But yeah. Those are my thoughts about her.
Might be a reason to give her the match with Ronda from their perspective. I want Ronda versus Becky, but Charlotte Flair, she's a name. Ronda Rousey, she's a name. And yeah, there hasn't been too much for Charlotte, but I think the logic here is, one, I think that's the match they wanted to do at WrestleMania before Becky Mania, I guess, picked up. And Becky kind of got inserted by just the crowd being so into her, coming off the bloody face and all that kind of stuff. It was here, JD, it was the first time they were in the ring together. Wish it was more interaction with them. So I think, is this Charlotte and Ronda that you're talking about, JD? Because I think that's who you're talking about, which, yeah, I wish there was more. As far as it was so quick of a moment there at the end, just the two of them, they stared off at each other. Okay, it was cool, but then it was just over. It's no, do a little bit more to get my intrigue, So I wish there was more interaction with them too. And I think we'll get more on SmackDown, definitely, because I feel like she's going to face off with Charlotte on SmackDown before making her decision. So I feel like, yeah, I want Becky to go against Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, I think the original plan was for Charlotte to face Ronda Rousey before that thing got made into a triple threat, and Becky was so popular that they threw her into this whole thing.
With that move.
Yeah. So now I think it's Vince's chance to get maybe the match that he wanted originally 3 years ago, and do it now here at this Mania. But I mean, we'll see, and that kind of leads off perfectly into So another thing I alluded to again was the sign got set on fire during that pyro when Ronda pointed at the sign, which is crazy. Went on social media, saw the sign was melting. There was footage of that, so that was crazy. They had to evacuate everybody from
area.
That area, clear it out. So that was crazy, and that made what was happening during the Becky Lynch Doudrop match make more sense. Because one, yes, it's two heels going against each other, and I mean, I feel like maybe there wasn't as much excitement around that match, and then the placement of that match right after the Royal Rumble, it's like, it's kind of a buffer spot, to put any match. So it'd be hard for that match to garner any kind of excitement anyway. But they were really tuned out. Like, I was not expecting the fans to be that tuned out. And you kept seeing, like, people looking to the side on the screen. Like, they're looking over, like, people are recording, and, like, did something happen? Somebody getting into a fight? Is someone getting kicked out? Like, what is going on right now? But turns out, after the fact, we find out, like, hey, yeah, the thing was on fire, and everybody was distracted.
I think they was chanting that, too, like, the sign's on fire. I think they was chanting it too, man.
Well, Becky had that statement of, I set WrestleMania on fire. I set WrestleMania on fire during the match. I don't know if you caught that, but Becky had made a statement during that match, calling that out, and she was looking at the sign, and I just thought she meant, hey, it was just her trying to big up herself. She's big time Bex. She's the man. She's it. And, no, it wasn't just that, though. It was signs actually on fire, and she's trying to loop that into a storyline. So that was kind of interesting. We got see Hafeez. Since they hyped up Charlotte could be the first two-time Women's Rumble winner, do you think they might do that next year between Rousey, Belair, Flair, Lynch, or Asuka, or new winner? Okay, so as far as next year's Royal Rumble winner, like who could be next year's? Man, it's just coming off of this one. It's kind of hard to say.
Right.
I think eventually Charlotte, will become probably I don't know. It's between those two. It's between Charlotte and Bianca. Definitely. I think for becoming the first two-time Women's Royal Rumble winner. I could. You know what? I'm gonna say Bianca Belair. I think Bianca Belair. It seemed really close this year. It was going to happen based off of the push that she was getting. So if they continue along that road, and let's say for some reason she's not champion
for this year's Royal Rumble, but soon as Ronda Rousey debuted, I was like, oh, she's winning.
Yeah, we said it too. I threw that in there. I'm like, look, Ronda Rousey's in it, she's winning. Like, it's just it. They're not going to have her come back and lose. So, but I think Bianca, that'll be my pick. I don't know if that's what they'll do, but that'll be my pick. So. Also, too, so in that matchup, there was a lot of people not paying attention or whatever, and I thought the match was okay. I thought it was fine. Doudrop had a crazy senton where she put all of herself into Becky's gut, and I think Corey Graves or somebody said, they wouldn't be surprised if Becky's ribs were crushed. Yep. I said, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. So I think they did a fine job. It wasn't. I think Doudrop got gassed out really quick.
I didn't really notice that.
I didn't feel that. Just watching it, it felt like the crowd was out of it and gassed out really quick, probably. Yeah. But no, I think Doudrop did a good job, solid. Like I didn't catch that, but I could be wrong. I'll rewatch it too and look for that. But I think she was okay. But yeah, overall, just what were your thoughts on this whole situation with this matchup?
I thought it was a sufficient match, above average. But to your point, the crowd was out of tune and you was kind of distracted, and you could be distracted by that because you're trying to figure out what they're all looking at too. So it kind of took away from the match. But in the end, though, I did appreciate how Becky got that manhandle slam off from the second rope. I said it was 60% power right there.
No, that one was higher, man.
You go higher. You go higher, man. Because shout out to Chris in the we had in the Facebook group. He said 55% power. I was like, nah, extra 5%. He's on the second rope. He's like, yeah, you're right. I was like 60%. You going higher?
The impact of that manhandle slam, because they showed the replay a couple times, and you could feel the impact. Doudrop, hitting the mat from the second rope. You could feel the impact. So for me, I felt like, wow, I got to give that more power. I think I even said higher on the last one too, but I give that.
You said 50% for.
Did I say on the last one?
Yeah, for Liv, you said 50.
You do the manhandle slam from the second rope
to
Doudrop.
If we're starting off 25%, just a regular manhandle slam, all right, that's 25% regular, and then you did with Liv off the Oblivion, the momentum, 50%.
Yeah, that was
now, right. Second rope with the impact. I said, all right, 10.
You thought it was only 5% more impact than when she did it to Liv?
Well, I said 10. Oh, for Liv,
you said 55, right? You said
50.
50% to Liv, and Doudrop's was 55.
No, Doudrop was 60.
60. So you're saying 10% more power.
10% more
from the second rope.
Second rope.
I think you need to go back and watch that. I think it was more powerful than that.
What would you give?
I'm thinking it's got to be no less than 75%.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say 100. I'm like, don't shock
in the
me
moment,
like that.
I did say 99% power. In the moment, I did. I was like, damn, But I feel like, the fact that the crowd wasn't into it kind of takes away from it a little bit, so the whole impact isn't really felt. But the fact that it's from the second rope and Doudrop, there's, it felt massive. It felt.
I'm gonna watch it again. Yeah,
it felt like holy shit. Like, okay, that's a finisher. Like, she's out. Like, The Rock, I think, would be proud. The Rock would be looking at that like, yeah, thumbs up.
Yeah, 75%.
Thumbs up.
Huh?
I give you that one. Yeah. You made me go up to 80. I'm gonna give Big Time Beck some respect here.
Oh man,
I'm gonna say
so made me want to look at that right now. Pull out the Peacock app and just go straight to that point so I can see the impact, bro.
Man. I think it was good. I liked it. In the moment, I won't lie, I said 99% power when I saw it. But then, just overall the moment and everything, I feel like it's 75. I give it 75 because the impact felt strong. All right. One thing I was saying too, and I got a little bit cut off, was a little bit of disappointment with people who weren't in it. So Alexa Bliss, wasn't in it. And that was who I picked, and she wasn't even in the damn match. Asuka, there was some rumors about her potentially being in it, but there's some word that she's injured. There's some word she's not injured. They just don't have
heard anything about her being.
We don't know.
I didn't even know that.
That's the thing.
I thought they just wasn't using her. I thought she was just in catering,
which is crazy. Then if she, that's weird. And then going a little bit back to NXT 2.0, what about bringing in some people from NXT 2.0? Honestly, Raquel Gonzalez and Io Shirai. And hell, throw in Cora Jade just to get eyeballs on her for people to see. We got a new talent, young talent here. Mandy Rose showing up.
I'm not mad at that.
NXT champion. If they would have had Mandy Rose and Mickie James there, NXT champion and Impact champion or Knockout champion, face to face, that could have been cool.
Yeah.
I just feel like there was some missed opportunities there with being able to bring some people in.
Bailey.
But that one, the only thing I'll say with that, because when we got to the end, I was thinking maybe the last person would be Bailey. But we know the injury is why she's out, so maybe she's just not healed up yet. So I just got to take that with a grain of salt. That was hopeful, but I mean, there was no confirmation that could happen, because especially with that injury. But Asuka, since like you said, there's really no word on her being injured. And I've been reading like conflicting things all over the place when it comes to Asuka. So I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with that. But at bare minimum, I feel like you should have had NXT 2.0, wrestlers there. I think that would have just made a lot of sense. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. It was totally missed opportunities, man, especially if you're always promoting 2.0. All right, throw some of these, some of the veterans of 2.0 in there, man, so you can gradually phase them out into the main roster, like Raquel Gonzalez, Io, Dakota. You know what I'm saying? I was cool with you when you mentioned Toxic Attraction too, man, or Manny Rose. Manny Rose. I'm cool with that too, man. So yeah, it was a huge opportunity. You know, I was hopeful for Bayley as well. I admit that. Yeah. I wanted to see Bayley. I wanted to see the pyro. I wanted to hear the massive pop. Do 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 do. Where's Michael Cole? Yep, that would be the first thing off her mind.
Right away, going straight to commentary. Where's Michael Cole? You tell Michael I haven't forgotten. Oh man, yeah, man. So some missed things there. I mean, definitely, I was felt a little underwhelmed that some people didn't show up. But overall, with the Women's Rumble, I was okay. At this point, I'm watching it. I still was enjoying myself. I still was having a good time. All right, and then the Becky Doudrop matchup, I felt like it was what it was, but it's okay. It was just okay.
Suffice.
It was exactly. Now, the WWE Championship match. Bobby Lashley. Gotta say it like that. Versus Brock Lesnar. So you take this one, man. What were your thoughts on this match?
Oh my God. So first of all, I stood up for this entire match. The entire match. My daughter can vouch for me. She was like, "Why are you standing up?" I'm like, "Because this is like a heavyweight Titan match. I got to stand up for this match. How can I not stand up for this match?" You know what I'm saying? Bobby comes out looking super swole. Yeah. Brock comes out. You know what I'm saying? Announcer's getting ready. He announced the challenger, or Bobby. He's getting ready to say, "You're getting ready to announce Brock." Paul Heyman's like, "Nah, man, go somewhere." Pushed him away. Announced him, and then we get to the match, and I'm shocked because Brock Lesnar locked up. When's the last time you seen Brock Lesnar lock up with a wrestler? Yes, because the first thing he'll do, he'll just go for the suplex, or he's going for the F5, 1, 2, 3, and then, seen it happen with Kofi, real quick in 8 seconds. So I was just shocked that they was locking up, trying to try to feel each other out, seeing who's stronger, and then they locked up again, and you see the back and forth, and you see Brock Lesnar being real quick, go for the suplex. Wow. But you see, Bobby gets up. He was like, okay, all right. You know what I'm saying? Getting ready to lock up again. See, Bobby goes around real quick. Suplex. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And you see Brock, he's in the corner. He's like, a little shock on the face, like, oh, okay. All right. And they go back and forth. It was a good match. And I was, I was satisfied with the end too. I jumped up in the air when Roman came in. I was like, yes, Tribal Chief. Tribal Chief comes in, gave him the spear. But he's not done yet. Goes in the corner, looks at Paul. He looks at Brock. Put his hand out. Paul did not hesitate. There was no hesitation, bro. He gives his Tribal Chief because he loves him. Wow, he loves him with all his heart. He loves him wholeheartedly. All right, that's his man's right there. Give him the WWE Championship. See Tribal Chief looks at him like this. All right, get Brock over the head with it. He's knocked out. Bobby slowly going over, and you see the ref. 1, 2, 3. I'm standing up. I'm already standing up, but I'm jumping in the air. I'm like, yeah. He broke the streak. So happy, man. Love this match, man. I just loved it from the beginning because Brock went back to the basics with Bobby. He respect that man. Like he was actually doing a regular wrestling move, just locking up, and I was just surprised by it. I was like, oh yeah, he's for real. He is for real. So now I can't wait for the Elimination Chamber. I think we talked about that. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing Brock Lesnar in the Elimination Chamber. And I'm about to get that with Bobby.
Hey man, we gonna see. It's gonna be this Elimination Chamber show is gonna be very interesting. Very interesting with all the people that they announced already. We'll get to that in a little bit too. But great match, perfectly said right there by you, man. I enjoyed every moment of it too. I wasn't standing up when I was watching it, but I was enjoying it. And I loved seeing Bobby give those German suplexes to Brock. That was real cool. We used to Brock doing that to people, but when Bobby did it to him, I'm like, oh, wow. And even Brock's face, he sold it well, like, oh, okay. So I love that. I love that, man. And even when he got him into the Hurt Lock, Brock still sold it, man. He sold it. Brock, he still couldn't break it. It took him going and smashing into the corner and into the ref for that whole thing to get broken. And then the F5, knocking out the ref, I could see what was coming. I'm like, oh, Roman's coming out here. Coming out here. This whole thing, is getting shut down. Shenanigans are about to ensue. And, sure enough, Roman Reigns came out, and just the look on his face when he asked for that championship, he's just like,
you know what's up.
Exactly.
What's up.
And Roman, and Paul Heyman, giving them the championship, and then putting his hands in the prayer hands, put the prayer hands up, and going over to Roman up at the turnbuckle, not the turnbuckle, at the ramp. Yep. And they were side by side, and Roman's looking at the ring, just kind of like sneering at Brock. And you got Paul Heyman just like my tribal chief.
Yes.
Like just you could feel it. You could feel like he was happy to be back. Where do you think they're going with this as far as, was this like a plan, or was this natural? Like, hey, they actually had a falling out, but Paul loving Roman like he does, when Roman saw an opportunity to put one over on Brock, Paul Heyman was like, yeah, I can't lie. I still love this man. I still, he's still my tribal chief. And even though, I was your advocate, I'm his special counsel now and forever.
It's actually part of the story that it's just not like, oh, this was planned. You remember when the first time when Brock and Roman, we was in Saudi, and he asked for the belt, what happened? He threw it in the middle. All right. And then we had a whole 40-minute promo on SmackDown about that whole situation. He was like, bro, like, you should know, my hand is out, give me the title. So what happened? Fast forward to Royal Rumble, my man had the hand out. He didn't hesitate. He understood the assignment. All right. That's what Paul did. He understood the assignment. He was like, title into my tribal chief hands. There you go, sir. So there we go. He's back in the good graces. He knows what's up now.
Okay. Hey, I accept that. I think it's a fun storyline. I'm enjoying the storyline overall. And I think we all felt like it was not over between Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns. It was just a matter of when, not if. And the way that they executed it, I feel like, it was a good way to do it.
Like, he loved him. We knew this, even in the promos. He said, man, how can you talk to me like that?
Right.
Like, I freaking love you, man.
Right. And then Brock said, what you say? What you say? Like, shut up, Paul. You shut up.
Johnson said, hey, don't talk to him like that. Right. I was like, oh, what is going on here?
Right.
Jerry.
100%. So, man. So, leading in the Elimination Chamber, this is going to be real interesting to see. Bobby Lashley is a 2-time WWE champion. That's awesome. He's going to be defending his championship at the Elimination Chamber. Yes. Should be real interesting to see how that match goes. We'll discuss that too here in a little bit, but let's get to, we got one more match for the men's Royal Rumble. The Grit couple versus the It couple. Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Miz and Maryse. Entertainment, fun match. I didn't really expect much, but I felt very entertained by what we got. That's probably the best way that I can put it. Edge. Yes. My tribal chief. Edge and Beth Phoenix look like, just warriors, especially Beth Phoenix, man. I love the hair. Just love the, Mad, like Tina Turner from Mad Max, like the big hair. Like, that's awesome. And, just Edge and her matching, with the colors and doing the entrance together is perfect. You've got Miz and Maryse. They do their thing. They go out there, and it's for the most part humorous. But Maryse, though, they gave her a couple moments where I thought was pretty cool. The Hurricane Rana from the top on the edge, that was cool.
She stood out to me.
The DDT to Beth Phoenix was cool. So shout out to Maryse. She still got it. She can, still move in the ring and did her thing. But at the end of the day, it was still about, Edge and Beth. The double spear, that was awesome. I enjoyed that. And then both of them doing the glam slam for the victory at the end. Perfect. Like I said, it for what it was. Because I didn't have high expectations. I just was like, all right, let's see what they do. It had me entertained for sure.
Salute to Joe Fo in the ring.
Hey, on the ring. Yeah. Thank you. Yes. So yeah, man, just what were your thoughts on this matchup here?
It was like you said, man, I didn't expect a lot out of this match, because to me it was just, all right, they just get in this match, just get it done with. If it's entertaining, it's entertaining. And it was. And I think Maryse was the perfect recipe. She the one that brought it all together with her antics. Her doing the Hurricane on Edge I was like, holy shit, that caught me off guard. I'm like, okay. Doing the DDT. I'm like, wow, I didn't think she was going to do like some wrestling or even take a bump. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't see that at all because within the story, she's just been showing that, all right, I'm just going to do some chicken shit, heel shit, just run away. Hit you with the brick, and that's about it. But this was a good match, man. I enjoyed it. It was fun. Man. So salute to the Grit couple coming out with the dub. All right, so hopefully we're done with this match now. We're done.
Over. We don't need any more of it, but it was good. It was good for what it was. All right,
here we go. Good call out. That's right. She had the Luna. She was playing homage to Luna with the whole eye makeup, like the
there you go.
Like the lightning. The blue lightning. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. The men's Royal Rumble match. Let's talk about it. So actually, Devin, I did the women's one. I'm gonna let you talk about the men's. Just some of your takeaways, from the way this men's match went. Now, before you do, I'll just say that this is probably the match that have the most people kind of like conflicted about how they feel about the Royal Rumble on a whole is how this match went. A lot of people have their opinions on it. But what is yours, sir? What did you feel about this match? What's going on?
This Royal Rumble. All right, so my overall thought of the men's Royal Rumble, it was okay. All right, you kind of seen it coming now, but I'll get to that. The start of it was cool though. I enjoyed the start of. You had AJ Styles kick it off. And then, Shinsuke, you already know they story rivals. Hopefully this one's going to be like a nut shot of a matchup. I was like, just don't let it be like I'm going to punch you in the dick, you punch me in the dick. Like, nah, we don't want to see that. But it was cool, man. I enjoyed bits and parts of it. I think they had, what are they doing with Big E, bro? Let's talk about that real quick. Let's take a pause.
We're going there already?
We got to. I got to get that off my chest, bro. Damn. And I'm like, he wasn't even the Final Four, my guy.
I don't even think he's on Raw anymore.
No, he's part of SmackDown. He's part of a tag team. He's with New Day.
He's back to what he was doing before. Demoted. Demoted. Just that's what they did. That's what they're doing. Man,
bro.
Yep.
Say they so. They so.
It's just they giving up. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't see what he did wrong. It took, so Romeo had COVID, and so they decided, okay, let's put Brock in this matchup, and then that just changed everything. It changed everything. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you.
Yeah. Titantron podcast, Anthony.
Yeah, it was wild, man. It was wild seeing what was going on with Big E for the past couple, because on Friday he was there again, and Kayla says, now officially on SmackDown, Big E, and Big E's there, and he didn't even it felt like he was phoning it in. It felt like he was just kind of going through the motions, like doing the, and feel the power, like all that whole thing. It felt like his whole heart wasn't into it when he was saying it.
Yeah.
And then, they had the tag match, and it just kind of was there. It just kind of happened.
They got to rebuild him, man. Either rebuild him or give us with a swerve and turn on Kofi. I don't want to see it, but that's like instant spotlight heat. We'll be talking about it on the podcast for a good part of it. But if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do, man. Because I honestly, I didn't like that performance in the Royal Rumble. That stood out to me because he was one of my picks. That's why it stood out. I had him winning the Royal Rumble. I'm like, all right, because the way he won, you know, he won Money in Bank. That's cool, but just the way he cashed in, didn't appreciate it. Because if you're gonna be a face and cash in, you know, you already seeing, you know, John Cena. I'm give you the heads up. I think Braun Strowman did that too. Hey, we're gonna be fighting, and you see
that didn't happen.
One of the biggest faces, Big E. He didn't do that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He called Bobby lacking. He's like, my knee. You hear Big E music? Come on, ref. Let's get this dub. Let's get this belt. And that's what happened, man. I'm like, all right. And then I think that this was the way to just rebuild him, get that momentum, let him get this, let him like the most eliminations, just let him have a good showcase performance in the Royal Rumble. And it didn't happen, man. So that what stuck out to me in the Royal Rumble was Big E performance.
Yeah, I mean that sucked definitely. You know, I see Drew put up here. Madcap Moss eliminated AJ Styles. That should tell you all you need to know about how the Rumble went. Yeah, I think that's a big one too. It's just you know. So AJ, he did last a while, you know, and he got help eliminating Omos, which was kind of an interesting moment too. But yeah, it was kind of all over the place Rumble. So my experience with the Rumble was when Shinsuke and AJ started it, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. And then from there on, Shinsuke going down,
Styles and Nakamura starting off, got our hopes up.
Yeah, I was hyped. I was hyped, man. I was all about it. And then you have Austin Theory and you have Robert Roode. And Robert Roode and AJ had that moment, you know, and they shot it out, you know, like these two guys go back to like TNA days. Like, okay, that was cool. And then, you know, you got Montez Ford, you got Damian Priest, you got Sami Zayn, you got Johnny Knoxville, you got Angelo Dawkins, you know, and I'm looking at all these names and I'm saying to myself, I don't believe none of these dudes are winning the Rumble. Like, none of them that came out at that point up until, say, when Drew McIntyre came out, which was a surprise return, right? Yep. So at number 21, Drew McIntyre, when he came out, that was the first guy since AJ and Shinsuke where I was like, this is someone who you could rationalize and say, well, they could really win this thing. I mean, AJ, because he's AJ, right? And Shinsuke's won it before. I don't really believe he's going to ever win it again.
Nah.
But he at least, I don't. But he at least, like, he has an aura to him for me still, where I'm like, I think this guy's a main event player. It's just WWE won't ever treat him like that. But everybody else, I'm like, okay, this is mid-card, all the way up until 21, you know? And some may argue that Drew McIntyre right now is mid-card. Some could argue that, you know? So there was a lacking, I feel, in like just star power, you know, with this Rumble. And I feel like I hate to say it too, but like all the cuts that they had, when you think about like Keith Lee and you think about like Karrion Kross, these are people that it would have been nice to have them in the Rumble and have that excitement around like, ooh, is this going to be the year that Keith Lee, you know, wins the Rumble and, you know, main events WrestleMania? Or is this Karrion Kross, you know, are they going to push him down to the moon? You didn't have anybody like that. And it just, I mean, a guy like Bray, you know, if he was still around, you know, I mean, Braun Strowman, if he was still around, you know, these are big names that they've gotten rid of. And now you look at the roster that the people they put out here, and it's like, man, it's like it was a mid-card
Dolph Ziggler, no
Rumble.
He ain't winning.
This entire like minus Drew, Big E, and then you know Randy Orton later on, and last but not least, Brock Lesnar at number 30. You know, shows up.
I was like, oh, he's winning.
Yeah, it's clear. We know what's happening. We know what's going on at that point. Brock Lesnar shows up. It's like, okay, this is telegraphed, you know, like, all right. And he goes and he clears house. He throws out everybody. And sure enough, he wins the Rumble and that's it. And, you know, am I mad that Brock won? Not necessarily, you know, I get to your point with Ronda Rousey. It's like, does that take away from someone new? You know, sure. But I feel like it makes sense, you know, with the story that they're telling with him and Roman. You know, I think that's fine.
He wants to unify the titles.
That's his mission, man. That's his mission. So, you know, we'll get into that here in a second too, because I've got some thoughts on that. But, you know, overall, like, yeah, there was some missteps. Where was Finn Balor in this? You know, like Finn Balor not being in this is crazy. Braun Breaker.
You just had to mention that name, bro.
I'm sorry, man.
That hurt my soul.
Ugh. It hurts. It hurts.
Yeah, man, Finn Balor. He wasn't in there. Ricochet was in there, but Finn Balor, Rick Boogs was in there. But no Finn Balor.
Yeah. JD, it's sad because the Men's Rumble had most of the roster, but WWE doesn't give 100% on building new stars. Yeah,
that's their Achilles heels. That's what they don't do. Yeah. They still don't do.
They still don't do it. They still don't. I mean, and I just like with Finn, you know, he's a star. They didn't use him. And going back to the NXT point, I mean, you're saying you're trying to build new stars, right? Like WWE, the whole point of NXT 2.0 now is developmental for these stars. And there is, you know, for better or worse, love or hate.
Or Cesaro, he wasn't in there.
Cesaro wasn't there. Great point. So, like, why? Why are these people not there? But Braun Breaker making an appearance here would have been cool. You know?
That's Shane McMahon.
Oh, dude, Shane McMahon. Yeah. So when that music hit, when that music hit, at first I was like, "Oh, okay," and then I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute, that just took a spot away from somebody. Like somebody that is supposed to be here is not going to be here now." And when you think about it, we just said Cesaro and Finn Balor. It's like, Shane, you took a spot away from one of those dudes. Like, are you serious? There was no Apollo after everything they did with him, you know, last year. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Shane McMahon, I mean, I don't think it's confirmed yet, but the rumor is right now that he's been released from WWE. Like, I've seen the New York Post put this up, Bleacher Report now. I mean, you know, we'll see, you know, what's hopefully WWE actually confirms something, but it hasn't, like, they haven't said, hey, we wish him the best on his future endeavors, but that's also the boss's son, so maybe he won't do that.
It's low key.
Yeah. So it was disappointing from that regard. Bad Bunny. I thought it was cool. I thought Bad Bunny came out and, you know,
he had a good performance.
He showed his love for he shows his love every time for wrestling whenever he shows up. You know, that he puts in the work to really, you know, make it look good and do his thing. And, you know, seeing him do the Destroyer again was awesome. Like, overall was great. It's funny because it was Brock Lesnar. It took Brock Lesnar to get rid of the bunny. So that was kind of interesting. Like, they are putting him, like, up here, man.
Was he in the Final Four? Was Bunny in the Final Four?
I think he was. Man. Let's see.
I watched the Rumble. I watched the Men's Rumble twice. So I think he was the Final Four. I'm about to look at it right now.
Yeah, he had 2 eliminations, and he was eliminated by Brock. I remember that. So I think Shane was in the final 4 too.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And it was at the end, it was Drew and Brock. Like, those were the last 2.
Yeah.
And then Drew, you know, was saying, like, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting. You know, like, all right, cool, Drew, cool. You're not gonna win, but okay.
You're gonna win, right? You ain't saying it with your chest.
Yeah.
Story time, Drew. Now.
FK, yeah, right. FK. One of the only things I liked was post Rumble, Mysterio gave his mask to Bunny. Cool show of respect. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yep. You didn't see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's floating all on social media.
Oh,
You'll see it it's on. I know it's on Instagram. I saw it on Instagram. Yeah,
that's
man.
dope.
He came over. Mysterio had he was covering his face with the towel and then gave Bad Bunny the mask and, you know, gave him the bow down. I was like, hey, man, that's what's up, man. Sign of respect right there, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So that was cool. That was a cool moment there. Overall, I felt like it was lacking. It just was lacking in star power. It was lacking in, like, those big, like, oh wow, you know, this new person, you know, like, okay, I'm excited to see what they're gonna do here. Like, again, Keith Lee's moment from his Royal Rumble, I felt like that was an amazing way to tease Keith Lee when he was still on NXT. So do that for a guy like Braun or Carmelo Hayes. Have them show up in the Rumble. Like, that'd have been cool. I don't need it to be like, okay, Forbidden Door, we're going to bring somebody from AEW or Impact. It doesn't have to be that.
Moose.
Right.
Moose.
Right. You know, That man, hey, he's doing his thing, man. Moose is trying. You know, the promos ain't there, but he's trying, damn it.
He's not there, bro.
Moose is trying.
Ain't there.
He's trying. I'm okay. It's all right, Moose. Keep doing your thing, Moose. But you know, like give me some of these new young cats, man. Show them in the Rumble. I think that's just a great way to showcase them. You know, put Gunther in there. You know, like put him in the Rumble. Like why not? You know, at this point, that would have been interesting to see the reaction to there just to gauge it.
He would have definitely got a Walter chant.
He would have got a Walter chant.
Yeah,
they would have been chanting Walter.
Royal Rumble crowd.
People that know him, they would have chanted Walter. Yeah.
Walter.
Yeah.
Like, ain't no Gunther. Hell no. Walter.
Right. So yeah, man. I mean, so we got Brock. You know, he won the Rumble. It looks like he confirmed on Raw.
Yep.
He told Bobby Lashley to his face.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Hey man, I'm not mad at you for what you did. You know, like taking advantage, you know, Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman doing their thing. I'm not mad at you. It's okay. As a matter of fact, you didn't have to worry about WrestleMania. I'm not facing you at WrestleMania. I'm facing Roman. However, I heard about, well, actually, no. He said, however, tonight, you know, I want you tonight. And,
he came out in full gear. He wasn't Farmer Brock. Wasn't no jean jacket, no plaid shirt. This man had the gloves. He had the shorts. Yep. He was ready to go.
He was ready. It was like, you chicken shit, like you let's do this now. And MVP was like, no, we are not doing this right now, Bobby. No, calm down, Bobby. Calm down, Bobby.
Bobby was getting angry.
I'm ready to go. I welcome it. I'm ready to fight. Bring it. And in a clean suit, too.
Clean suit.
The red.
Yeah. Clean.
Oh my goodness. That was he was looking
two-time champion now. Like, I'm gonna do this right. I'm gonna come out super clean now.
Yes.
Ooh, I was like, woo, woo, woo.
If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's worth seeing. Bobby Lashley suit from Monday Night Raw was clean. So, you know, MVP was trying to hold him back. Calm down. No, Bobby, no. And so Bobby reluctantly, you know, like left the ring. He didn't want to go. He wanted to make it clear, like he wanted to fight, but MVP was like, cooler heads prevailed. But then you had Adam Pearce, you know, because he's, you know, making this announcement about the Elimination Chamber. He says, well, I just want to let you guys know that officially the first entrant into the Elimination Chamber is Brock Lesnar. MVP was pissed, but Bobby Lashley was like, bring it on. I welcome it. Bring your ass in the chamber, see what happens.
Brock was charged. He was like, yeah. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. And yeah, Brock's whole thing is unifying the championships. He keeps bringing it up. I thought this was dead. I thought we were done with this. When he won the Rumble, I'm like, okay. It's going to be one-on-one for the Universal Championship. Fine.
But he said, Tribal Chief hand. You're going to force your hand, Tribal Chief. You ready?
Dude, he said, I want that one, the blue one, and I want the WWE Championship too. I want them both. So here's where I'm at with it. I feel like I'm a little nervous about flip-flopping the championship so much. Because you had it on Brock to begin. Actually, you had it on Big E. And then, you know, looks like a last-minute thing caused you to take it off of Big E, put it on Brock.
Yeah.
And then the first title defense that Brock has, he loses it to Bobby. And now the first title defense that Bobby's going to have in Elimination Chamber, he's going to lose it back to Brock. Like, is it too much hot potato going around with the WWE Championship, or are you okay with it if they do it?
Oh, very good question, man. Because, you know, in the Attitude Era, that's all they did. They hot potatoed a lot.
They did that a lot.
So, yeah. And lately, you know, with the WWE as now, they do long, healthy title reigns, man. At least, more now. At minimum, maybe 3 months, 4 months, at least. Now, will they hot potato it back? Most likely, yeah, because it's Brock Lesnar. You know? Yeah. You know, that's he like to take care of the brothers who got the WWE title. So another one off the list.
You know, and that's interesting too, because we were saying we were both going for Bobby because look, man.
I changed my pick because of that, bro. You pointed that out. I was like, yeah, you're right.
He took the belt off of Kofi. He took the belt off of Big E. Two brothers. I'm like, oh damn. This dude, man, don't do this to Bobby. But here's the thing. Bobby wasn't champion. So Bobby took the belt off him, but now this is his opportunity to take the belt off of Bobby. So he going to make it 3 for 3 in terms of taking the championship off of brothers, man. I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen. I can't even fight it. I was rooting for Bobby Hart, at Rumble, but I see it writing on the wall, man.
I do.
This is gonna happen.
My celebration was short-lived. I jumped in the air. I was like, yeah, he broke the streak, but technically, did he break the streak?
No, he didn't. No. He's like, now you're champion. Now we're back on. Now the streak's on the line.
I'm gonna keep that streak intact now.
Right.
You can take it away from me, but I'm gonna take it away from you now.
When is Elimination Chamber? Is it in February?
February. It's on a Saturday too, like at noon, 11 o'clock our time. I think 19th.
February 19th?
Yep.
So he's gonna do this in Black History Month.
Oh, shit. That's when his power's at an all-time high too. Remember Bobby last year in February? He was smashing everybody, bro.
Oh man.
He made Matt Riddle non-existent.
Yeah, he did.
Now Bobby gonna take this L on Black History. But it's in Elimination Chamber, so
there's some ways to still make Bobby look strong as hell.
It is
in this, so
it is. It's gonna come down to them though.
You think it'll be those two at the end?
Yeah, it has to.
Okay.
Brock has to beat someone else.
Yeah. To
get it, that's not Brock's way. He likes to beat the champion.
You know what I just thought? Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Okay, so
that's true. This is Brock's first Elimination Chamber.
Yeah. Interesting. So here's some food for thought.
All right.
So
when
Brock won the Royal Rumble, there was a part of me that's like, oh, I wanted to see Seth and Roman at Royal Rumble because of how good I was saying that match was, the opening matchup. It was just the storytelling was great, everything. I'm like, ugh. And I was talking to my brother about it, and he was mentioning, well, what if they did a triple threat? And I said, oh, yeah, okay. I like that because what I'm thinking about is it's a return to the heights of the century.
Yeah.
There's also story for Seth with Roman, obviously, but also with Brock. Because remember the last time
he beat him 2 times.
Right, he's beaten Brock 2 times, and so that's another one where he's like, "Look, man, I own you, and I own you. I own both of you.
This is my wheelhouse, baby."
Right. Now, the other thing to think about here is Seth is in the Elimination Chamber. He's in the match.
He is.
So a way to get this triple threat to happen could be for Seth to actually win the Elimination Chamber. Because, okay, look, if I wanted to get my way to have all 3 of those guys in that matchup, I think it's going to be hard to get Seth in that match if he doesn't win this match. Like if Brock wins it, it's 1-on-1. That's it. There's no putting Seth in it.
We might have another pay-per-view.
No, that's it. This is it.
This is it?
This is it.
Just the Saudi and no more pay-per-views?
They said it on the
I'm sorry. Premium live events.
Premium live event. I think, commentary was saying, like, unless, they mess up all the time. So who knows? I haven't looked at the schedule, but commentary was saying this is the last stop before WrestleMania. So, this should be it. But, we'll see. I mean, maybe there's something in March because WrestleMania is, the 2nd and the 3rd, I think, of April.
Like that's right.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I mean, maybe, but that would be kind of a way to get us there is if you have Seth win the championship in the Elimination Chamber, and then you have, Brock, the Royal Rumble winner, and you have Roman, the Universal Champion. And you can tell this story about the 3 of them. I want Seth to be in the story. I just want that.
I know.
He earned it. He earned it with that performance, man. He's in his head. He's in Roman's head, and he can get in Brock's head too. He's like, dude,
that's
on your ass too.
By the way, man, whoever did this photo of Seth, like he got like Joker makeup on. It's an edit though, but it looks super clean.
Oh, you gotta send me that.
You know what? I'm gonna send it to you right now, bro.
You gotta send me that.
Say less, bro. I'm gonna send that to you right now,
dude.
So you can see that, man. Because
that's my guy right now.
It looks super clean, bro.
Dude, he is just on fire. He's just on fire. And right now, I mean, you can feel the face turn, like it's kind of here, but don't change what you're doing. Like whatever you do, Seth, do not change it. I see it here.
You got just send it to you.
Oh!
I told you it's clean, bro.
God, that's
it's
fire.
Clean.
Oh my goodness. This is perfect.
It's clean, bro.
He might do that at Mania. He might do this look in Mania. I would give anything Seth Rollins. If someone out there has a connection to Seth Rollins, make sure he sees the picture of him in Joker costume and tell that man, do it.
Man, he had like
wasn't he
similarities.
wearing a purple suit on?
He was. No, it wasn't Raw. It was SmackDown. It was SmackDown.
I know recently.
Yeah, the Go Home show. Yeah, the Go Home show for Royal Rumble. Yeah, he was wearing it with the green tie. I'm like Joker vibes, just laughing.
Do it, Seth. please, one Messiah to another. Let's make it happen.
he had like some Joker essence to his storytelling, especially within that match. And Roman was hitting him. He was laughing. You know what I'm saying?
Batman beating the hell out of the Joker. And he's
like,
just laughing. Right, exactly.
You have nothing to threaten me with all your power.
All your strength. Dude, man.
One of my favorite scenes.
That scene right there is just so on point. So on point. But yeah, man. Wow. This might have to be my new background. I think I might just make this the background.
Ooh, I told you it's clean, bro. It's clean. So shout out whoever did that edit, man.
Yeah, man. That is awesome. Wow. Okay. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I think the cleanest way to do all this right now would be for Brock to win and then just have it be title for title, one-on-one, and maybe Seth does something with Kevin Owens, because him and Kevin have been doing stuff, together for a while, and Seth now being somewhat of a tweener face character could go against Kevin, who feels betrayed because Seth didn't go to back for him to get him in the chamber. Seth didn't have to qualify, and Kevin Owens was like, "Look, man."
He was like, so you're in elimination chamber.
You
didn't get in? He was like, I qualified because of my Royal Rumble performance, Kevin. He was like, okay.
So I got an idea. How about you tell Adam Pearce that you want me to be in the Rumble to be in the Elimination Chamber and not have to qualify, or you walk. You're not in the chamber match anymore. You forgo your championship opportunity. He's like, I don't know about that, Kev. I don't know about that idea.
Oh, man.
I love, too, when Kevin said, hey, man, you may not be Universal Champion right now, but I'm going to tell you right now, after your performance, you're the Universal Champion of my heart. KO, y'all.
Yes.
Killing this right now.
They are. They are
just so entertaining. I'm loving it.
Oh, KO, bro. Salute to you, man.
Yes.
He was killing it, man. He even killed it in the match with Austin Theory, by the way, too.
Yeah, he did.
In that qualifying match.
That was a good match. That was a good match. I wasn't even mad that Austin Theory, won
Same
that
here.
matchup. I feel like it's fine. Build up Austin Theory, give him an opportunity to shine and grow into a new star. Maybe they'll have something with Austin Theory. We'll see. There was a rumor about Austin Theory versus Shane McMahon doing like an Austin versus McMahon kind of thing, like bringing that back a little bit. But rumors will be believed that Shane McMahon is no more, so we're not going to get that.
We'll see.
We'll see. But so we went through everything in the Rumble, man. Just overall, what are your thoughts? And then end it off with your letter grade, man. What
letter grade? In the end, did I have fun with the Royal Rumble? I did. When I look at it from that foundation, you know what I'm saying? Even my daughter, she watched it, and my son too. He was more on his iPad, but the minute they got to that Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, that caught his attention. Because you see these two, from the aesthetic look of it, you see these two behemoths, and they just laying hands on each other, and that straight up caught his attention. Yeah, he probably could have saw me because like, why is Dad standing up? Because this match right here, bro. This
everything.
Match. Yes, it was fun. It had some down parts within both of the women's and men's Rumble. Yes, it did. You know what I'm saying? Definitely a lot of missed opportunities that they could have capitalized, especially with Big E injecting with some NXT talent as well. Definitely agree. In the end, I will give this Royal Rumble pay-per-view just a solid C. No C minus, no C plus. It was just average. Was it one of the worst Royal Rumbles? Like everybody saying this? Oh, this is one of the worst Royal Rumbles. Like, nah, they ain't give us that yet. They ain't give us that yet.
Yeah, no. As an overall pay-per-view, I can't say it was one of the worst.
And I don't think it could ever, just because of the Royal Rumble, just the format of it. I just have fun with it.
Right.
Crowd counting down who's going to come out. Because even though they spoiled the entrants, the participants in the Royal, we still don't know who was coming out. You know what I'm saying? So just to see who was coming out number one, who's going to start it, who's going to come out last. I enjoyed that part of the format when it comes to Royal Rumble, though.
Yeah, man. I think that's really fair. That analysis right there that you just had. I feel like that opening matchup was an A for me. Like Roman and Seth, that storytelling, and Seth freaking Rollins coming out with the old school Shield music. Oh man, he got in his head. He got in his head. Man. But even that, like, I feel like both of them were at the height of their powers in this match. This match showed the growth of Roman overall in storytelling and the growth of Seth in storytelling. With Roman, so we've seen, like, the tribal chief be this, like, intimidator. He's the head of the table, and he smashes everybody. He's got that bravado. But here you saw, he still has some pain. And it's affecting him, and he sees Seth, and that is his brother, like he's still like they went through it all together, and this man turned his back on him.
It now makes sense why Roman carried that, when he was the big dog, why he carried that theme song of the Shield, why he decided to stick with it, because he loved the Shield so much. And now, because you see
That's
this,
a good point.
It made so much sense now, because I used to say, man, just get rid of it, man. Dean Ambrose did it with John Moxley and Seth freaking Rollins. They all had their own thing, and he kept the old Shield.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Still had some of the same gear, but now with his emblem on there. So, but now it's like coming full circle. It all makes sense now.
Yeah,
it all makes sense.
That's a great call out, man. That's a great call out. Like he was still carrying on, like hopelessly carrying on to what they had, holding on to the past of what they had. And it wasn't until this tribal chief era that he's been trying to really just shed all that and let go. And then here comes Seth Rollins to bring it right back to his face. And he's like, man, like the look on his face.
Dude, he was just, in the zone.
Yeah.
Holding his title. And all of a sudden, Shield, Hotel, Echo. I'm like
what?
He all pissed. He's looking for Seth.
Right. Right. It was, dude, just the storytelling just on point. So that match, like I said, I give that match a solid A. The Bobby and Brock match, I'm going to give that a solid A. So I think those two were fire. Yeah. Overall, though, with the Women's Rumble, I think was fine. The Men's Rumble, it really, I stood up at a certain point in the Men's Rumble, and not for the same reason as you with the Bobby match. It was more in like disappointment. I was like, this is weak. Like it just felt weak. I can't lie. Like it really did leave me wanting more.
Yeah.
So overall, I like what you said, a C. I'm gonna go a little higher. I'm gonna say a C plus, just because I feel like that I can go back, and actually I want to go back and watch those two matches that I just mentioned, the two WWE and Universal Championship match, over and over and over and over and over again. So it's a little bit more than average of a pay-per-view when you have two matches that make me say, damn, I want to go back and see that, because there was just so much to digest. But specifically that opening match, I want to go back and see like the facial expressions and try to read more of like what they were saying to each other. And like you mentioned, the moment where he was cackling on the ground and throwing the fist up and saying, I love you. I love you. Like, just great. Just great storytelling. So yeah, C plus. I go C plus for the show. So C plus for me. Decided. C from you.
Yes.
Hey, yes, like you said, it is decided. All right. Now we're done with the Royal Rumble recap. Let's get into the streets. It's talking. You got some questions?
Talking. Yes, I got the questions, and I'm going to get them right here. I'm actually popping them up on screen. I'm getting a little fancy today. Or fancy tonight. It's 3-year anniversary. I learned some things now. All right, so let me show off a little bit. All right, this is from Drew. This is a question I had actually looked up because I knew nothing about this. I knew nothing about this news story. So shout out to Drew Yari. Got the Drew Yari podcast. What's your opinion on the Ken Anderson scandal with his wrestling school and him scamming students? So, like I said before, I knew nothing. I actually looked this up to get some reports. And so the story behind this is he opened up this school, and I guess, he didn't stay in contact with his students. There was no communication when they can come in, when they can train. There was a report from a student giving his statement, like, he said, I'm not going to attack his character. I'm just going to take it for face value for what it is. Like, he didn't stay in contact with us. You know what I'm saying? I gave him, some money. It might be a little to some people, but it's a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? This is what I earned. This is my livelihood, basically. And that was his statement. So, my opinion, that sucks. You know what I'm saying? If you're not going to train your students, man, just give them the money back, bro. If you're not going to open up this school, not going to stay in contact, just do the right thing. That's how I feel.
Mm-hmm. There was supposed to be some virtual classes too. Like he was supposed to do something to that degree as well, because he doesn't have the facility open, and that didn't happen either. So now I think the last thing that they heard from him was something about there was a new facility that was supposed to be opening up or whatever. It just feels like the Fire Festival all over again, man. But like on a not as glamorous scale, right? It's a school, there were promises made, people paid money, but it's wrong, man. If they're not getting what they paid for, it's simple. Give them their money back. It's wrong. It's childish. It's Bush League. Don't do it. Give them their money back. It's that simple.
Yeah. And Ken Anderson, by the way, if people don't know, this is Mr. Kennedy from WWE.
Kennedy.
Come out there, Kennedy.
Yep. Mr. Yeah. That was cool back then, man. But this shit you're doing right now is bullshit, man. Give them back the money.
Yeah. I want my bread.
Yeah. Right.
Get your podcast. Salute to that podcast. Chicago podcast in the Midwest, Chicago too. We definitely got to link up with some Chicago podcasts, man.
Yeah.
All us together. You know what I'm saying? Like, stay in touch. But what they said, what's the biggest takeaway you want a listener to get after listening to your show? I'll let you go first, brother.
Just be entertained, just have fun. We're just dudes that like talking about wrestling. We love wrestling, and just this started out as just casual conversation,
break
in general.
Talk.
Yeah, break room talk, like just we just love talking about wrestling. And it was a thing where we just said, hey, why not just record it and share it with people and share our love of wrestling and see what happens. So nothing really specific other than just entertainment. Just have a good time, just sit back, relax, or if you're on your drive to work, whatever, and you just tune in and we make you laugh, on your way to whatever you're doing, or you watch wrestling and you're like, I want to hear someone talk about wrestling too. And you hear us, and we're laughing and have a good time, and you laugh along with us. Yes. Like, that's all we really want, man. Like, at the end of the day, that's all it is. I mean, sometimes we get into serious topics on here, and definitely from there, it's like, let's share our true opinions and keep it real, and just say how we feel about certain serious topics as well. But I'll say for the most part, it's really just about just having a good time and just being entertained.
Well said. Same here, man. That's how I feel. Like, to get from this podcast, if you're having like a shitty day and you listen to us and you're having a better day, you know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. Like, the way we talk about wrestling, we just have fun with it, And I said this on an episode or two ago with Bishop. I'm like, if you listen to some of our episodes, some days you think we're AEW marks. Some days you think we're WWE. We just love wrestling. That just shows you we just have fun with wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Look at our live watch along. We had AEW Full Gear. We had so much fun watching it.
Oh,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Yeah. Did you see us reacting? When Miro was doing the kicks, he was like, yeah, man, use your feet. Use both of them feet. We're just laughing, having a good time. And that's how I look at wrestling, because it's wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Just have fun with it. That's what, I think some people, this is just me. I think some people get a little bit too they rant and like, this is what they're doing. Monday Night Raw, it sucks. I get that. If it's not your cup of tea, don't watch it. But if you take it for what it is, you know what Raw is now. It's a 3-hour long show. Yeah, it sucks, but it's still entertaining. Have fun with it. Even the sucky parts, we still have fun with it too. We make jokes out of it and just see how entertaining it is, man. So yeah. Positive
also,
vibes.
To add on to that too, so my brother Kamal, he'll respond to me. He'll tell me he listens to the show and talk about things that we talked about, and that warms my heart. My brother listening to it and just taking something from it and just being entertained by hearing myself and Devin both talk about this. He's like, you sound really good, man. Like, keep going. Like, this is great, and love your opinion. And me and him, we have like a very similar way of thinking about things. So usually he agrees with what I'm saying, but sometimes it's like, okay, there's this and that, and it's just fun, like engaging with him in this way. But also to other people too at work, someone will say like, oh, I listened to the podcast, man. Like, it was fun. Like, I had fun listening to it on my way to work or wherever, and it's just when people give that feedback, it's motivating too.
It is.
To hear the response. Like even here now with everybody, on the live stream, saying congratulations, man, congratulations on the 3 years and all that positive vibes being shared with us. That makes me want to keep going too. The fact that, y'all enjoy this blows my mind. You know what I'm saying? And so it really does. Like, we're just
like listening to when I talk, when I laugh.
You like hearing what I'm saying? Like,
right. I be fumbling my words and shit, and that was like, come on, but whatever. Okay,
that's
cool.
It's just that appreciation, man. Like, it's like, okay, like I'm doing something right. Let me keep doing it. And so just all the love, also is motivating to keep doing it. And so just keep on sharing the positivity, and you like it, share that with us too. It's fun. It's fun.
It is. Shout out, I'm trying to remember the name, but I remember looking at a comment. This was like maybe a month ago or so, and he put in there, it's like, man, I was having like a down day, but when I listened to your guys' podcast for the first time, I feel better now. It's like you guys just brighten my day. And that just made me feel so good, man. When we, like you said, we get the feedback. Like when Bishop said, like, man, you guys laugh so much. You know what I'm saying? The positive vibes. Shout out to the Front Face Lock too. They said the same thing. Like when we laugh, it's just, it just resonates with them. They feel the energy, and I'm like, that's what it's all about, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Positive vibes, feel good, have fun with wrestling. Yeah. All right, next one. You want to take this one? No, I'll take this because I'm familiar with it. All right, this is from the Backstage Brawl. When are At His Name is King and Santana, I think this is Big E, coming on? And second question, I think I got that cut off, but they said Cookout 2.0. So first question, we got to have you guys on because I ain't watched their Backstage Brawl live talks they do on Instagram. Man, they be having some very good analytic discussions, man. Very thought-provoking discussions, man. These young brothers. There's about 3 of them too, man. And I was like, and they have deep discussions, entertaining too, and they look at it from a different side that I just never looked at it before as well. So they get hearing these different perspectives as well. So definitely the invitation's out there. We can definitely link up, figure out the logistics. And second question 2.0. This was last year when we did the cookout. I want to say, was this for Black History Month? Or was this Juneteenth? I want to say Black History Month last year. You wasn't able to make it because you had to work. But it was a lot of the Black Wrestling podcasts. We all came together, and we were just all discussing certain wrestling topics. It's the Rock Black, just, discussions within our community that we usually have that I don't have with other podcasts, man. But it was fun, man, just having hearing those different perspectives from all walks of life, and then seeing people that look like me talk about wrestling, man. It just warmed my heart. So we're definitely up for the 2.0. Just let us know we're there for the cookout.
I'm definitely down for that. Let's make it happen. Like you said, I wasn't there for the first one, so definitely for the second one, 2.0, count me in. I'm in.
All right, it is decided. All right, here we go from the broadcast. I'll let you take this away.
No, you've been doing great, man. I like this. I like you rolling with this.
I'm gonna keep. Okay. All right, this is from the broadcast, all the way from Australia. You know what I'm saying? They, I think they watched our watch along for Extreme Rules. I want to say, I remember that it was like 10 a.m. their time on a Monday, and it was like maybe 8 o'clock our time. But shout out to the broadcast. They got a great podcast. Their question is, what has been your favorite?
You definitely, this is you.
Yeah, you right. Yeah, good call. Let me keep it going. Roman Reigns title defense match during this time as the tribal chief. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna answer this. Ooh, I can't wait to share my story. All right, so it's only been 2 times I cried in wrestling. First time, retirement match for it was Nature Boy Ric Flair between Shawn Michaels WrestleMania. Cried towards the end. It got me in my feels. Didn't see that coming. And then the second time, Tribal Chief going against main event Jey Uso last year, Clash of Champions in the Thunderdome.
Yeah.
That ending when Jimmy was coming out, getting ready to throw the towel, and Jey said, "Don't throw that shit. Don't throw that shit." He's trying to get Jey to acknowledge him, the Tribal Chief. I was like, what is going on? What is I was like, I acknowledge you, sir. You are the Tribal Chief. Let me order my shirt. It's on the way. It's in transit, sir. You got it. You were the head of the table, sir. It's only been 2 times I've cried in wrestling, bro. And that was the second time. And that's when I acknowledged the Tribal Chief. And that is still, to this day, my favorite match. Just because of the storytelling was just on point right there.
Man, it's funny. That was mine too. That because I had seen this question before. So that was the match that I picked. I thought you were going to go a different route, but that it makes sense why you said that because emotionally, it connected. I remember you saying that too when we broke it down when it happened. And I felt the emotion. I didn't cry during it. With wrestling, it's I don't think it's ever really happened to me. The closest time was Bianca and Sasha. Seeing the two of them, be emotional. I was like, man, that got me, and I love both of them. But that is my favorite Roman Reigns match as the Tribal Chief. That whole storyline with him and Jey, and just you could feel the emotion from both of them. From Jey, he had enough of what Roman was doing to him. With Roman, it was like, you going to acknowledge me. I love you. You're my cousin. I love you, but you're going to acknowledge me. Like, this is happening. Like, this shit is happening. And they were like whipping each other and just beating each other down and going back and forth. And the moment of the matchup, definitely when, he was going to crush Jay's head with the stairs and Jimmy runs out. He's like, what you doing? What you doing? And Roman looks at Jimmy, looks at Jey, and it drops, and he starts crying. And I'm like, what the hell? What is happening right now?
I don't know who I am.
I don't know who I am. He's like, it's okay, Oos. We can get through it together. He reaches out his hand, he grabs his hand, they're hugging, and then
1, 2, 3, sneak attack.
Then he puts him in the guillotine. I said, oh shit. What?
Yeah.
And then, you see Jimmy reaching like for Jey, and Jay like,
yep.
What's happening? And then he's like, what? Let him go. I quit. I'm like, this was brilliant. So yeah, man, that one definitely. I'll say the next one after that, definitely has to be the Mania matchup with him, Bryan and Edge. That one, it felt like he solidified. Like, this is my time now. Because I'll say, like, for me with Roman, there was a little bit of a point where on this show I had said I wanted to see him win a match clean. Yeah. Like, it hadn't really happened for him during that stretch with Kevin Owens. And, leading into that match with Daniel Bryan and Edge, there's so many different routes we could have seen it going. Yeah. But to see him beat Edge and Daniel Bryan, stack them on top of each other, and pin them both, they made a T-shirt out of that moment.
And he said he was going to do that. He was like, I'm going to stack you.
Yeah.
I'm going to pin you 1, 2, and he did it.
And he did. I'm going to smash you. I'm going to stack you. And I'm going to pin you 1, 2, 3. I'm going to print a T-shirt. And, I mean, sure enough, all of it came true. Yeah. It all came true. I said, this man, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And then he beat Daniel Bryan. Like, there's a couple moments too.
Yeah,
like
that's
after
my
that
close
too,
second right there when he beat Daniel Bryan on SmackDown. He exiled him out of WWE.
out of WWE.
He
Yeah,
let him hear. He blessed him with the new music.
yeah.
That's
That's
what
where
he did.
that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going. Because for me, the fact that he came out, so Daniel Bryan comes out, and he's just fighting for the title. It's on SmackDown, and it's like, okay, if he loses, he's gone. But are they really going to have? Because we didn't really know if Daniel Bryan was going to be leaving or staying or what.
Yep.
And I'm thinking, well, Daniel has a chance because I don't think he's going to get exiled. And then you hear this new music, and I said, oh, shit. And Daniel Bryan's face said, oh, shit. He didn't say the words, but you can see it on his face. It's like, okay. You see the fanfare and on TV too, we're seeing like, the CGI Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman with the belt, he's got the whole thing going, the thing around his neck. It's
yes.
Like, oh my God, this dude. And he's on the slow walk, taking his time. I'm like, there's no way Daniel's winning this match. This is over with. So
beat that man clean.
Amazing. Yes.
1, 2, 3, you're exiled, sir.
Yeah, dude. So I would say those three are definitely my top ones. And this one too was really good. This one right now with Seth, I think give it some time and this one will raise up the ranks too as far as the storytelling. The storytelling. So yeah, man. But I agree with you. That's the number one.
Oh man, I'm surprised. Okay, we had the both.
No, yeah, that was what I had that down. I had these all in order, and that was number one.
Oh man, that's crazy. And that's in the Thunderdome.
Yeah,
no crowd.
Dude,
Thunderdome. WWE 2K noise.
That's a testament to what they did. Yeah.
All right, we got this one from Half K Podcast. Congrats again, guys. 2 questions. The first question: if WWE ever decided to add main event, the main event show, and 205 Live as weekly shows on their YouTube, similar to AEW Dark and NWA Power, how well do you think they would do? In context, yeah, I know they probably have network deals, but just forget about that.
Oh man,
I'll let you go first, man.
So with this one, it's interesting because 205 Live feels a lot out of place given they don't have a Cruiserweight Championship anymore. So I don't even know what the point of the show is if they don't have. Unless I'm wrong, and they still have some kind of championship for them there.
They don't. They need to change up the name of it because I see what they use it for. They use it for like NXT before they're getting ready to debut on NXT 2.0. It's like the main event for Raw.
Yeah, or like AEW Dark for NXT.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, definitely change that name. How would they do if they were on YouTube? I mean, I feel like it'd probably be the same as what we see for Dark, honestly. Like, for me with Dark, I don't really, I don't watch Dark consistently. I don't watch NWA Power consistently. Like, those YouTube shows, it's hard for me to, because I watch so much wrestling. And, I mean, we got lives outside of this too, right? So, to try to balance all of this out, there's only so many hours in the day. But, for me, when you're on YouTube, it's like, okay, that gives me an opportunity to anytime I can just tune in, like, go to the YouTube channel and just check out a couple episodes, at my leisure. But as far as like a week to week, like following it, I don't typically do that with those shows. So that's probably what I would say most people will probably do with that too, is just like, okay, casually, I'll like, if I'm curious on, just consuming as much wrestling as I want, and I'm on a cycle of looking at like all these different wrestling shows, that might be one I click. It might be. If I'm being honest, I'm probably not seeking out main event or 205 Live. I'm not searching for it. Yeah. But if it happens, if I fall down that rabbit hole, that's what I was looking for. Rabbit hole. If I fall down that rabbit hole, it happens.
But that would just be for a wrestler, really, though. If it's like, oh, I want to see how, they're on 205 Live, okay. And just,
yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Like, if there's a certain wrestler that, I hear about, like, hey, they're on 205 this week, and it's somebody, I'm like, oh, okay, let me see what's going on. Maybe I'll tune in, but I'm not going to go searching for it. So it'd be the same as AEW Dark, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, same, man, because it's YouTube. And then when you look at YouTube, it's usually just for like short videos, because this day and age, everybody got a short attention span. So when you put a weekly 2+ hour show on there, even an hour, that's gonna be tough for any company. Even WWE, if they want to put main event and 205 live up, on there. Honestly, they would have to probably go with a network deal or put it on TV just to get eyes, and it'd probably be similar to the ratings for 2.0, maybe a little less than that. You never know, but just
I think it'd be less.
Yeah, really it just depends how they promote it. They'll have to promote the hell out of it,
right,
to get them eyes, trickle down from the other weekly shows.
It'd probably be like Sunday Night Heat. Like back in the day, how Sunday Night Heat was.
I remember watching Sunday Night
Heat. There were times where I watched it. Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yep. That's a good point, man. If they go with that.
Yeah.
All right. So question number 2 from Half K again. Would you guys ever do retro review shows? And if so, what shows, pay-per-views, premium live events would you like to review? Congrats again, dudes. Awesome work. Appreciate it.
Perfect from them, because I know they like to go back to NXT, the early days, and go through the years with that. Because for me, it'd be takeovers. It'd be NXT takeovers, like when it was Black and Gold. Because takeovers, in my opinion, my humble opinion, there was never a bad takeover. Maybe one or two you would say, it was just really good on their scale. But overall, I felt like they always had a great formula, 5 matches, and they all felt like there was something meaningful there, Yeah. So for me, it would be going back to, some of those NXT takeovers. I've actually started watching the old NXT from where they were at the Performance Center, and Dusty Rhodes was the GM, and William Regal was an announcer, and I think the first match was McGillicuddy versus Tyson Kidd. Well, the main event of that one. So I watched that one, and they had a video package for Seth Rollins saying he was going to be there the following episode. So I was like, oh my God, like this is going back.
Yeah.
So, and some of that I hadn't seen. Like at that point, I actually wasn't watching NXT yet. I came in with like the Johnny Garganos, the Tommaso Ciampas, like those guys, not the original ones. Like even like Kevin Owens. I mean, I saw some of the stuff with Finn and Samoa Joe. Like that I was watching.
Okay.
But previous to that,
I
wasn't really seeing it. So I'd probably go back to takeovers to see some of those. And yeah, man. I mean, I've already been looking at some WrestleManias, going back and seeing previous WrestleManias, previous SummerSlams, some of the big 4 events.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd be down for that. Definitely. But the top one on my mind right now are the takeovers.
For me, my top one would be Monday Night Wars between WWE and NWO or WCW.
Okay.
Because honestly, growing up in that time period, I remember like I was so faithful to WWE, but yet I would switch over. All right, WWE Monday Night Raw commercial. Let me see what's going on Nitro, and I see them like, all right, I would go like, okay, Monday Night Raw is probably on. Let me go right back on there, and then maybe I'll just go between the back and forth between the two. But I would love to do some retro shows and just compare the two at the time. All right, at this show, Stone Cold, and then versus what WCW had going on too, just to compare and see which show was better, or was it on the same level or something like that, man. I think that would be right up our alley.
Yeah, definitely reviewing the Monday Night Wars, episode by episode. That would be something. That'd be something to really break that down, man. That'd be a lot of fun. I mean, we both lived through that. I remember doing the whole like channel switching, and it's funny to think about it because my wrestling journey as a fan has been really something where, as a kid, I remember seeing like the Hulk Hogan's, the, Junkyard Dogs and Roddy Pipers back in the day. But I really was too young to really get into it. And then I would, from time to time, turn on TBS on a weekend and would see like Sting and some of the people from WCW. But again, I was still a bit too young to get into it. Like Shawn Michaels, Diesel on WWF. I would just catch it. I'd just be flipping channels. I'm looking for cartoons, and I'd see, wrestling. Okay, let me see that for a little bit. Yeah. Then, I've talked about this before, WCW versus NWO, that video game got me to really want to look for it because I'm seeing bad guy. Hulk Hogan is a bad guy. Razor Ramon is a bad guy. Kevin Nash is a bad guy. What the hell is going on? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Sting looking like the Crow? Like, what is happening? So where is this happening? What channel is this on? So I remember looking for that. So I actually started getting hardcore into wrestling with WCW. And then, through knowing about the Monday Night Wars, it was like, okay, I'm watching WCW. Whatever happened? What's going on with WWF? Find WWF. Okay, interesting. I'm more into this NWO thing, but I like what's happening here too with like DX. We got
the Call Up podcast from New York. What's up,
That's
man? It's
awesome.
part of the league
That's
too,
awesome.
man.
Yes.
Yeah. What's going on?
The DX and the Nation, when they were big, like I was really, loving what they were doing. Of course, Stone Cold Steve Austin doing his thing with Vince McMahon. Like that was my time to really get hardcore in wrestling. So yeah, to your point, to see all of that and to like dive into the Attitude Era, would be cool. Attitude and just the Monday Night Wars would be really
The Monday Night Wars, yeah. All right, next one from the Universal Wrestling Podcast. Nick over there has one of the best intros in the game. All right, real talk. I'm going to give this man this flowers. We was on this show for Royal Rumble predictions, and when we started the show, I was like, oh, shit, okay, this is how we going. Let's go. Don't. I'm like, okay, cool. So shout out to Nick, Universal Wrestling Podcast. All right. Question: since 2013, the only mid-carder to win the Rumble has been Shin. Why is that? Probably longer. Just depends on your definition of a mid-carder. I think we answered that during the Royal Rumble. They just don't build stars.
Yeah.
That's the reason why.
That's as simple as that.
Yep.
Yeah. It's really that simple. They suck at building new stars.
Yep.
They do.
It is decided. Sorry we couldn't give you a longer answer, but that's just what it is, bro.
That's just point blank simple.
Yep. All right, next one from Bishop. I had this coming. I'll admit this. I had this coming because
tell the backstory.
All right, I'm gonna give the full context. When he did a Q&A, he said, "Ask him anything." And then just to let you guys know, he came on our show a couple of weeks ago. And when he first came in, you guys didn't see it. This is pre-show. This dude was so disrespectful. He came in with a Packers jersey. Packers jersey, Reggie White representing. I was like, really? I'm like, you know where you at, right? You know what you're doing? I'm like, so disrespectful. So disrespectful. But anyways, when he did the Q&A, he said, ask him anything. I asked him a question. I said, why do the Packers choke every time in the playoffs when they go against the 49ers? And he answered the question on his show. He called me a dick. I was like, yeah, so. I had to ask you. I just want to know. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the season, they on top of the shit. But when the playoffs, when it comes to that team, the 49ers, they choke.
Yep.
All right. So
this time, it's funny because usually it's the NFC Championship game. This time, they didn't even make it to the NFC Championship game.
They didn't even make it.
They decided, you know what? Let's not waste time. We know what's about to happen. We're about to lose this year anyway, just like we always do. Let's just get this out the way and lose one round earlier.
Right. Tom Brady, he's taking his vacation.
They all like, let's just join them.
So Bishop from Terrible Takes podcast, shout out to him. He got an awesome podcast, by the way.
Yes, he does.
Check it out on streaming platforms. When will the Bears QB throw for 4,000 yards?
So disrespectful. I got the answer. Hold on one second. I got the answer.
Yeah. My tag team partner is going to correct this right now. All right. For all the listeners, there we go. That's who. Right there, that's your answer. That's your goddamn answer, Bishop. You satisfied? We represent the Bears over here, man.
It's gonna happen.
All right.
It's gonna happen. Right.
This dude said, even with the extra game, that seems like a reach.
It's gonna happen.
Nah.
We're gonna build around this man.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna build.
You heard the
around
GM?
him.
He said we got some things to fix. Our offensive line sucks. When he said that, I'm like, he gets it. He gets it.
Track shoes ready. We gonna run.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Don't get mad when y'all take these L's, Packers fans. All right. Don't get upset. Don't come crying, Bishop.
Yep.
Do
when
it.
Aaron Rodgers leaves you, hey, you gonna know how it feels.
Yeah.
He gonna be where we've been in the past.
Get
couple.
emotional.
Hey,
Alexa, play Carl Thomas, Emotional.
That's awesome. Shout out, Bishop. I love, man.
Shout out to Bishop. And that is all the questions for the Streets is Talking segment. And that will conclude the Streets is Talking. We thank everybody for joining, giving us some engagements, the questions. We appreciate everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. And hey, that's it. That's the show for us, man. I mean, we went through everything. You know, we talked a little bit AEW from tonight. We talked a little bit in the surprise segment, NXT 2.0. That was a surprise from man Devin over here. Just, I had to give him that one 3-year anniversary special. I'm like, all right, let me see.
Yeah, he got me. He got me in the feels with that. I was like, ooh, 2.0.
Oh, yes. So, hey, man, it's been a pleasure. Thank you all for listening and sharing this time with us and being on the live stream with us. This is going to do it. We're going to do this again for year 4. So, for Devin, I'm Hafeez. Guess we're going to catch you guys next time. I'm hearing the music in my headphones.
Oh, hold on. Let me talk about where they can find the podcast.
Well, I'm hearing the music, so you let me know.
Oh, no, that's just our, we winding things down, all right?
You didn't give me a heads up. I'm like, is this about to cut? Is this the wrap up music?
No. Wrap it up, B.
Nah. All right, cool.
You good, bro. Keep talking. Keep talking. Keep rolling.
Hey, we live, baby. We live. So, before we go, let's go ahead. Devin, please, sir, tell the people where they can catch us.
Yes, all the time. You can find us at a All Stop and Shop website. You can find our social medias. You can find the platform of the audio platform of our podcast and video platform as well. You can see us live on the website. If you go to ClarkStreetWrestling.com, ST for the abbreviation, for all your merch needs too. When I say merch, we got the merch, like shirts right here. We got the shirts. It's snowing right now in this winter storm, so get your hoodies. If you're in the Midwest, get your hoodies. Yes. And of course, beach towels. If you're down there in Australia, South Africa, Niger, Brazil, if over there in Saudi, all right, Saudi. Hey, I've been peeping y'all. Y'all been listening. Our listenership has been growing in Saudi. So, hey, they've been spreading the word. Like, hey, get the beach towels representing Saudi.
Get all right, okay. Of that hot ass sand. Get your beach towels.
Yes. ClarkStreetWrestling.com/store for your pleasure. It is decided.
Yes, and now formally again, thank you all. I'm doing the Paul Heyman prayer hands for you, listeners, viewers. Thank you for being with us, for being with us through this ride, for this live episode, for being with us through this ride for 3 years. Thank you so much. We're on the road to year 4 celebration. We're going to do it again. We're going to have fun. Hey, keep with us. We enjoy doing this, so we hope you enjoy listening to us do this. Thank you so much. For Devin, I'm Hafeez. Catch you guys next time. Peace.
All right, guys, thanks for listening to the Clark Street Wrestling Podcast. Acknowledge us. You hear that? Acknowledge us. Shout out to you for podcasting. All right, the Messiah Podcast. Acknowledge us. You hear that, Circle of Debate? Acknowledge us. The L is coming. The L is coming. All right, don't forget, Clark Street Wrestling. Yeah, let's go.